All right, all right, all right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please, in chat, confirm that you can see me and hear me. Hope you're having a great, great week. All right. Good, good, good. I'm about to share my slides with y'all in just a second. Let me go get them. Glad that you're here on this beautiful Tuesday. What is it, July 7th? July 7th? Yeah, July 7th. In case you're wondering if this is live, yes, this is live. We are live and direct right now. Cool. What's going on? Donnell, Deirdre, Skylar, Dio, Tanya, Bianca, Pamela, Juan, Tatiana, Teresa, Gary, Louise. Good to see y'all. Glad that you're here. Let me share my screen and please confirm that you can see me and hear me. All right. Can you see my screen, y'all? I pronounced your name correctly. I know a Dio from school, so that's how I knew. Good, good, good. All right, good, good. So, given that you can see me and hear me, go ahead and type the market that you're looking to buy in chat. Type the market that you're looking to buy in chat. Atlanta, New York City, Vegas, Illinois, Florida, Charlotte, Ohio. Don't give me states, give me markets or cities, counties or cities usually, okay? Chicago, Philly, Orlando, Albany, Chicago, Dallas. So we got people from all over. We got Northeast, we got Augusta, Georgia, we got the South, we got DeKalb, Virginia. All right, so we about to get in. Any West Coast out here? I'm from Oakland. Any West Coast folks in here? Where you at? New Orleans. I'm in New Orleans right now, y'all. Where the West Side at? Oh, y'all still on the corporate plantation? Y'all ain't got off work yet? Come on. It's all good. Ebony, Southern California. All right, beautiful. San Diego in the building. I see you, Howard Gordon. Love your last name. Oh, we got Trinidad and Tobago in the building. This is beautiful. We international tonight. All right, cool. Let's get it in, y'all. I got a lot to cover in a short amount of time. So Brooklyn in the house. What I want you to do real quick is I want you to go to this URL right here. And I want you to go get the worksheet real quick, okay? juliangordon.com/webinar-worksheet. juliangordon.com/webinar-worksheet. If you get an error page, that's because too many people, we got hundreds of people here tonight. If you get an error page, that means that too many people are hitting the domain at the same time. Just come back to it in another 3 minutes or whatnot. And if you don't get it at all throughout this entire evening because so many people are hitting it up, then just take notes. Get a pen, paper, and take some notes, okay? Please let me know if you got it. Just type yes in the chat if you got it. It came up for you. In fact, I got a backup URL for those of you who are getting the error page. Let me put it up for you real quick. Backup URL is right here, all right? If you're wondering what this Band-Aid is, I got cut on my ear today, y'all. I got cut on my ear. This is life. This is life. So I got a Band-Aid on, y'all. So if you're wondering what the heck has he got on his hair, I got a Band-Aid. Part of life. All right, cool. Folks got it? Good. All right, cool. Let's get it in then. With that, I want to welcome you all to the Multifamily Masterplan, where I'm going to show you how to finance, find, and finalize your first multifamily real estate deal and literally start living for free. I want to thank you for being here. Most of you don't have a clue who I am. You haven't met me yet. I hope to meet you someday soon. So I want to celebrate you for showing up for your last name, for your financial future, for your legacy. That's why you showed up tonight, and I just want to commend you. A lot of people are out there watching Netflix and chilling tonight, and they're not working on their financial future or their wealth or growing themselves. And here you are after work on the week after. A lot of people celebrated Independence Day, but they're not really independent. They're not free. Whose freedom are we celebrating? Can somebody please answer in chat? Whose freedom are we actually celebrating? Because it wasn't a lot of ours, right? In fact, 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So this is not just a black thing, y'all, okay? America as an institution is here to oppress as many people as it possibly can, including white folks, okay? So this is not just about white versus black. 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So I don't celebrate that holiday. Instead, I worked on my freedom. And in fact, I worked on your freedom. Whether you knew it or not, I'm always working for your freedom. All right. So tonight, I got a little bit different version for you. It's called the coronavirus edition. Obviously, coronavirus is shaking up the entire economy and it's shaking up real estate, but I'm going to show you has a counterintuitive effect on real estate that I'm going to share with you in just a moment. Now, why am I so committed to freedom? Because my purpose is to free 300 people just like Harriet Tubman did to pursue their purpose through entrepreneurship in multifamily real estate. Harriet Tubman was the #1 conductor on the Underground Railroad, and she freed about 300 people over the course of about a decade by making 19 trips below the Mason-Dixon line. My purpose is to free you through multifamily real estate, which I call the above ground railroad. The above ground railroad. It's right there in plain sight. It's above ground. And if you buy right, then this will be a guaranteed path to freedom for you and your last name. My professional background is that I built a $3.9 million real estate portfolio with 10 multifamily homes with 30 doors that generate about $36,000 per month in rents. And I did all that just 6 years on the side. Real estate was not my core business. Real estate was something I was doing on the side as I was traveling across the country, speaking at colleges and companies and doing consulting and things of that nature. And this business kept growing and growing and growing. And so now more and more time is dedicated to my real estate portfolio. It returns about 13.83% annually, which is actually 3 times the S&P 500. A lot of you have been on a roller coaster ride with your 401ks on the stock market. The stock market over the past 20 years has actually only returned 4.23% annually. I did the math back to 2000. And so the asset class that I'm showing you tonight actually has a 3x return, 3x return on the stock market. My portfolio has appreciated by 19.4%, 48% on the entire value of my portfolio since I acquired. This means that I bought right, that I bought smart, and that I stepped into equity. I'm founder of the Freedom School and Multifamily Movement, and I want to be very clear is that I am not a licensed real estate agent. I'm not a licensed real estate agent, and you do not have to be one either in order to get into multifamily real estate, okay? So with that, I'm gonna be very transparent with you tonight about who I am and what I'm up to and how to actually achieve what I've been able to achieve. And so I'm gonna share with you my portfolio. I'm going to take questions at the end, y'all. So hold your questions. Okay. I'm going to take questions at the end. I have a lot of content to get through. And if I start answering questions in the middle of it, we're going to go off track. Okay. Because I know a lot of you have very unique and specific questions based on your situation, but I want to get to the content. Is that fair, y'all? Is that fair? I'm going to answer questions at the end. Is that cool? All right, cool. Because I want to give you the meat and potatoes, as they say. Even though I'm vegetarian, I want to give you the pescatarian. I want to give you the meat and potatoes, and then we'll get to questions and unique questions specific to you later on. So this is my real estate portfolio right here, and I want you all to stop thinking about just getting a property. Okay, stop thinking about just getting a property. Instead, I want you all to have a portfolio. Okay, there's a difference between a property and a portfolio. Now, yes, you have to get that first property in order to start building your portfolio. And that first property is essential that you buy it right. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. My first property was in Brooklyn, New York. Okay, here it is right here. It's this 3-family home in Brooklyn, New York. The moment I bought this property in 2013, guess what? I achieved rent and mortgage freedom. I have not made a housing expense or paid a mortgage ever since I purchased that property. Why? Because the tenants on this floor and the tenants on this floor paid not only the mortgage, but they also gave me cash flow on top of that because I was providing them with quality, affordable housing. Right. So when you buy multifamily home in the real or in the right way, when you buy right, you can immediately get to rent and mortgage freedom. Now, it took me about 4 years to get my next property because I was trying to buy another one in Brooklyn, but people don't know that the second property that you buy as an investment property will require 25% down. 25% down in New York with $1 million price point is $250,000. That's $250,000. So I realized it was going to be very difficult for me to expand my portfolio in New York, even though I could get the first one using the FHA loan, which I'll talk about in just a second. So while I was living in New York, I bought a property in Oakland and I bought a property in New Orleans. Okay. So you see in 2017, that was those acquisitions. Now I was on the West Coast, East Coast, and Gulf Coast. Bought a couple other properties in New Orleans. One I bought for 125,000, sold it for 170, literally less than 2 years later. Okay, and in 2019, last year alone, I acquired 7 properties with 25 doors. A lot of people are like, Julian, how long do you have to wait until you acquire another property? And the moment you're ready. Because when you buy right using the process that I'm going to show you tonight, guess what? It actually strengthens your DTI, which is your debt to income ratio. Okay. So last year alone, I acquired 7 properties with 25 doors. And this is my entire portfolio that I'm showing you. The only reason I sold that duplex was to upgrade it into a 4-plex. Okay. That's the only reason I sell, is that if I'm selling a lower yielding property to acquire a higher yielding one. So these are the 30 doors that I control, all of them, 13.83% cash on cash return, 19.5% appreciation, $36,000 in monthly rents. You know, a lot of people dread the first of the month. So a lot of people had to come out of pocket over the past week to pay rent. I actually get excited on the first of the month, and that's what I want for you. My portfolio has a $3.9 million valuation if I was to liquidate and sell everything today. Okay, so Shamika, I know you want me to slow down. I got a lot to cover, sister. If I slow down and I take it easy, then we're going to be here for 3 hours. So I have a wealth of information to share with you. I'm trying to give you the game as quickly as possible so that you get the gist of it. I have a lot more to share, but I can only do so much in this short amount of time. All right. I respect your time. Your time is valuable to me, and I want to give you as much as I can in this short amount of time. Is that cool? All right, cool. Andreas, come on. I've heard that line before. She not listening too slow. I do talk fast because I'm passionate about what I have to share, and I want to give you as much as I can in a short amount of time. Some of you, it's bedtime for your kids and things of that nature. Some of you getting off of work and you want to spend time with the people that you love and care about. So excuse the speed, y'all. All right, but let's get it in. All right. So I've been able to teach this process to not only for myself, but for other people. So these are some of my students. The Roll family, they have a 4-plex in Los Angeles near USC. The Campbell family, they have a duplex in Charlotte, North Carolina, where they live rent and mortgage free. Jackie Hall Cooper, she acquired 4 doors in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She bought a 3-family and a single family that she bought from a distressed seller and stepped into equity. Amina, she owns in Brooklyn, New York, realized it would be difficult to invest there. And again, so I helped her find a 4-plex here in New Orleans. Then Dante Green, he's from New Orleans. I helped him find a duplex here. And then Spencer, he lives in San Antonio. You know, he lives in Texas, but he bought in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. All right. So tonight, I'm going to show you the multifamily math, how to quickly and quantitatively evaluate a real estate deal in less than 10 minutes so that you can make an offer before anyone else. The only thing that beats a cash offer is a fast offer. Okay. The multifamily map, which is how to find great emerging markets, neighborhoods, and properties near you or from a distance that will provide great cash flow and potential appreciation. And the multifamily mindset, which is how to think like a real estate investor when it comes to wealth, money, real estate, and debt. Now, a lot of the tactical things that you need in terms of real estate are out there on the internet, on YouTube, on podcasts, books, blogs, etc. But the biggest obstacle that stops people from moving forward is actually their mindset. So tonight we're going to focus a lot on the mindset that gets you out of your own way so that you can actually move forward towards achieving your real estate dreams. Okay. With all that, my big promise is give you a proven path to achieve rent and mortgage freedom. Now, what is rent and mortgage freedom? Rent and mortgage freedom is a result of buying multifamily real estate, which has cash flow that eliminates your housing expense forever. Okay. The result of buying multifamily real estate, which has cash flow that eliminates your housing expense forever. Now, most people, their housing expense, whether it's rent or mortgage, because mortgage is an expense, okay? You have a lot of interest expense, you got property taxes, insurance, etc. Most people, their housing expense takes up 1/3 of all the money that they bring into their household. Now imagine with one single decision to purchase a multifamily home in the right way, the way that I show you tonight, you achieve rent and mortgage freedom. And now you never have a mortgage or rent expense for the rest of your life. What would that do for you? How much breathing room would that create for you if you never had a housing expense for the rest of your life? Let me know in chat. What would change for you if you never had a housing expense for the rest of your life? Let me know. Lamar said everything, less stress, travel, sanity, more money to invest, freedom, the way I spend, more vacation, quality living, debt-free, invest more, start my business, priceless peace. Yes. Okay, it'll be fabulous. So this is the power of what I'm teaching you tonight. And this is what I'm going to show you. Now, of course, everybody's wondering, Julian, what about that Rona though? Of course, Black people, we always got to give a nickname to something. So it's gone down from Corona to Rona. You know, y'all know it's going to be a lot of babies named Corona with a K and with a Q come this November and December. Trust me on that. A lot of people in quarantine, they're shacking up. So you're going to see some Corona babies going to spike. All right. We're going to have fun tonight, y'all. How many y'all down to have fun? Okay. This is a little edutainment. Right? And I have corny jokes. The beautiful thing about corny jokes is that if they're good, you laugh. And if they're bad, you still laugh. And so please laugh at my corny jokes. If you don't, I'm going to still laugh. All right. So let's just have some fun tonight. All right. So let's good. Y'all laughing with me. We got a good group tonight. All right. So what is coronavirus's impact on real estate? So if you look at the recession in 2009, 2010, well, what you'll see here is that the single family home price, it dipped all the way down to $208,000 at the end of 2010. These gray bars represent recessions, okay? And if you would have bought while everybody else was afraid in 2009, 2010, look at this, y'all. That same house is worth $324,000 today. So you would literally be up 116 racks, $116,000 in your net worth if you would have bought while everybody else was scared. These are just patterns that happen over and over and over again. Okay. And so we are actually in that window. A lot of people went into forbearance, and forbearance is where they are putting off their mortgage payments, but they can only be in forbearance for 3 or 4 months. And what's going to happen is all that bill is going to come due, and you're going to see a lot of people have to come up off of their property. These are people who bought wrong. Okay. That you can be a home buyer, but it doesn't mean that you bought right. So a lot of people who bought wrong, one person in the family loses their job, all of a sudden they can't make the mortgage payments, they go into forbearance. So that means in July, August, September, August, September, October, you're gonna see prices drop in real estate. Real estate market doesn't react as quickly as the stock market reacts. So you saw the stocks are going crazy right now, up and down, up and down. It's a roller coaster ride. But real estate takes a little bit more time to react. And so that's what you're about to see. And this is what I want you to take advantage of, all right? Now, on the flip side, if you control real estate, you own multifamily real estate, what happens to rents in the midst of a recession? These gray bars, again, represent recession. This blue line represents rents. What do you notice happens to rents in the middle of a recession? Rents go up. Wait a second. Everything else seems to be going down, Julian. Why would rents go down, or why would rents go up in the middle of a recession? Well, here's what happens. You have all these single family buyers, right? And you have renters who have no way of getting into home ownership. Then you have renters who are looking to buy. Then you have single family buyers. Now, some of those single family buyers lose their jobs. And what do? They bought this 5-bedroom home for a 3-person family because they wanted a room for grandma to stay in on Thanksgiving and Christmas. Grandma comes over 6 days out of the entire year, and they bought a whole bunch of extra house that they didn't even need. So now one person loses their job and they can't make that mortgage payment. So they get foreclosed on, or they have to sell, right? And where do they go once they foreclose or sell? They now become renters. So now the renter pool has gone up, but the supply of rentals has not gone up. So demand has gone up, but supply has not gone up. When demand goes up, but the supply does not go up, what happens to price, y'all? It's just basic economics. What happens to price? When demand goes up, but the price doesn't go up, what happens to price? Price goes up. It's just basic economics, y'all. It's just basic economics. So this is why this asset that I'm showing you is recession proof, all right? Now, why this, why now? Because if you wait to get started in multifamily real estate, what's gonna happen is rents are gonna continue to rise, and as rents rise, your salary isn't rising proportionally, so it's gonna make it harder for you to save, right? And then while rents are rising, prices will start to go back up, and it'll make it harder for you to buy because then you won't be able to save for the down payment. So if you don't move on what I'm sharing with you tonight, you may never ever own multifamily real estate. And I don't say that tongue in cheek. I really, really mean that. Because what's happening, y'all, is there's a gap between rich and poor. We all know that it exists. And right now, if you do a lot of things right, okay, if you check off a certain number of boxes, right, then you can get from one side to the other, right? But this gap between rich and poor is getting wider and wider and wider. And there will come a point where even if you were born on one side, you will not be able to get to the other unless you get a financial windfall from like your grandmother or your mother or somebody you care about actually leaving you a life insurance policy and you getting a financial windfall that then allows you to get to the other side. So this is why this is so urgent, because that gap is only going to widen. There's no way that gap is going to come closer and closer. So this is so urgent right now. And this is why I'm teaching this. All right. Now, when it comes to multifamily real estate is the most proven business model of all time. If you remember the feudal system from junior high school, right? The feudal system was in Europe in 900 AD. And in the feudal system, the king gave land to lords in exchange for loyalty. The king gave land to lords in exchange for loyalty. So where do you think the word landlord comes from? It comes from the feudal system. So this business model that I'm sharing with you is 1,100 years old. I can't guarantee you that Amazon, Google, or Apple will be around 1,100 years from now. But I can guarantee that as long as human beings are living on the face of this earth, that multifamily real estate will still be here, and it'll be more valuable than ever. All right. Now, if there, for those of you who are wondering, Julian, I just don't know if I can ever afford it. I got bad credit, this and that, that and that. I don't make a lot of money. Well, let me show you something real quick. I need to just address this. You do not need a lot of money to get started in real estate, right? That's one of the biggest myths that's out there. This is my actual W-2 from 2012. Remember, when did I buy that home in Brooklyn, New York, that 3-family home? I bought it in 2013. So this was the W-2 that they used to qualify me for that property. I made $36,000 in 2012, y'all. I only made $36,000 and I still got that property. So I got started in real estate when I wasn't making a lot of money in New York City, the most expensive market in the world, while I was an entrepreneur and within 3 years of an economic recession. Now, will $36,000 get that for you today? No, this was in 2013. And what happens to real estate over time, y'all? What happens to real estate over time? It appreciates. So that $36,000 is not going to get you the same property that I got today. Okay, $36,000, you're probably out the game in New York. All right. So let me show you how you can still move and make things happen. Now, when I'm talking about multifamily real estate, okay, I'm not talking about those big 60-unit buildings that you see on the freeway when you drive by. I'm talking about 2-family, 3-family, and 4-family home. Duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes, all right? They only make up 18% of the rental supply. So they're a very specific asset that we're looking for. The reason we're looking for this specific type of asset is because financing for a 2, 3, or 4-family is the exact same as the financing for a single-family home, which is what's sold to you as the American dream. The same paperwork, the same documents you have to send in for a single-family home, or the same documents you have for a duplex, triplex, and fourplex. Okay, so this is why we're looking for this specific asset. For me, my first property was a triplex. Okay, and if you buy a triplex or a fourplex in the right way, you can achieve rent and mortgage freedom on your first purchase, meaning that you don't have a housing expense for the rest of your life. Okay, so this is why I'm so serious about this. I'm a living example, and I've been able to teach others how to do it as well. So tonight is for you if you're a renter or single family home buyer who wants to be receiving rents monthly instead of paying rent or mortgage to someone else. Okay. If you're committed to creating generational wealth for yourself and your family by having your money work for you instead of you always working for it. And if you are willing to make the short-term sacrifices necessary to guarantee long-term financial gains and freedom. All right. Now, with that, I want to ask for your permission really quickly. If I give you some great content and blow your mind and continue to do so over the next few minutes that we have together, can I take 10 minutes at the end to share an opportunity for you to consider? Type yes in the chat if that's green light. All right, I appreciate that. And if you're not interested whatsoever, I'll let you know when I'm sharing that opportunity. On this webinar, I'm going to give you enough to chew on to go take action. But if you want to accelerate your process, if you're really serious and you don't want to make any mistakes along the way, and you want to learn from somebody who's been able to do it and teach others how to do it, then I'll share that opportunity with you. It's not mandatory. You're still going to get the free gift, okay? So just a reminder, there is a free gift for those who stay to the end. Zoom will let me know when you sign off. And I'm sending you all a list of the down payment assistance programs organized by state. Down payment assistance programs organized by state. Some of these are free grant programs. Here's $5,000 towards your closing costs. Some of them, you take a landlording class and they'll wrap your closing costs into the loan. There are various different loan programs out there. So for those of you who stay to the end, this is my free gift to say thank you for your time. This is literally going to turn into money for some of you all who actually take action. So this will come, this will be sent via email tomorrow, okay? This will be sent via email tomorrow, all right? Now, real quick, one more time, I'm going to put the link for the worksheet in. I know a lot of people just came in. So go grab this worksheet really quick, okay? go grab this worksheet really quick. It's just to guide you. If you have a printer, it's just to guide you. And if you can't get it because there's too many people hitting the page at the same time, then just take notes. It's just a fill in the blank to make sure that you don't miss the important points tonight, okay? And if those of you are wondering why he got a Band-Aid on his ear, I got a cut today on my ear, y'all. It's all good. So I got a Band-Aid on. So like he got a hearing aid or something. So just wanted to keep you informed. This is real life, y'all. This is real life, all right? Cool. So let's get it in. I know y'all probably been on some boring webinars. Let me know if you've been on a boring webinar before. Huh? Let me know if you've been on a boring webinar before. All right, cool. Many people. So I'm gonna kick off this webinar with a poem. I understand multifamily real estate so well that I'm able to put all the language into rhyme. I'm homeschooling my daughter right now, and as a homeschooler, you know, how do kids learn? They learn through rhyme, right? All the songs that we knew growing up, they were rhymes. And so I want you to understand multifamily real estate the way my daughter understands her alphabet, okay? So I wrote this poem for y'all, and guess what? At this moment in time, you may not be able to grasp every single line that's in the poem, but one day you will be able to as you develop your wealth consciousness, all right? So, here it is. It's called the multifamily poem. Why don't we hack houses like frat houses where everyone living good for just a few thousand? Some will say it's lousy while they slaving proudly, spending 1/3 of their revenue to pay for housing. Living on your own, but you don't own ish. Can't even get a loan, student debt is up. Thinking a high wage is the way to get rich. Not if your living expenses rise directly with it. Trying to keep up with the Joneses, deep in debt till you croak. I'm gonna live just like the Jeffersons, pretend that I'm broke. Then I'll buy a multifamily, let the rents pay the note. Perhaps you could be my tenant. Yo, that would be dope. I keep my cost of living low along with my blood pressure. Because if you always stressing, it's hard to enjoy pleasure. The man with the most is not the one who wins the race. It's the man with his soul who can look at his own face. 40 acres and a mule is what they taught us in school. I'd rather have 40 apartments and a big money pool. Leverage credit to capital and capital to cash flow. Cash is not king because the interest too low. Some call me a do-gooder. I got good deeds in my name. As the lord of my land, I'll never be a slave. You can dabble in stocks, lose your shirt and your socks, but the demand for housing will never ever stop. Assets, assets, assets. Passive, passive, passive. These are the two keys to amass wealth quick. But quick is really relative. It's a long-term game. Who you hustling for, your first or your last name? Boom. Y'all with me? Get some snaps, some Love Jones snaps. Cool. So the reality is that you may not understand every line in this poem, but every line has power. For instance, you've been taught that cash is king. Cash is not king. Cash is actually pawn. Queen is the most powerful piece on the board, and queens are assets like multifamily real estate. Those queens give birth to kings. Kings is cash flow, and those kings lead to pawns, right? And in chess, you will sacrifice your pawns, which is your cash, any given day to acquire another queen. So we've been taught wrong. You've been chasing the highest paying job. You've been chasing the most money. But the reality is you want to chase the most assets. You want to buy or build the most assets. That is who actually wins the game, not the person who has the most cash. You realize this cash, I don't even have any cash with me. All that is green paper. Look at this, y'all. Y'all think that cash is valuable? All it is the word money on some paper. You know that it costs 2.5 cents. It costs 2 cents to make a penny. How backwards is that? It costs 2 cents to make a penny. Okay? This money is no longer backed by anything. It's not backed by gold. The only thing that is backed by is your trust. But assets, real assets, buildings, real estate is backed by something. It's backed by something real. Okay? So you want to turn the bank, every time you give them money, what do? They go acquire an asset. When they loan you money, that's an asset on their balance sheet. It's a liability on yours. So you have to you've been chasing cash and you do need a little bit of cash to play with, but cash is not king. Cash is the lowest yielding asset in the entire world. Your savings account is yielding 0.03% interest. That is the lowest yielding asset in the entire world. You've been playing the game wrong. You were taught to play the game wrong. I'm not blaming you. That's why I'm here to educate you. But you were taught to play the game wrong. It's not who has the most money who wins. It's the person who has the most asset who wins. Are y'all with me on this? Type mind blown if that's new information for y'all. Okay? Cool. So let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it. Myth number 1. is that I can't afford it. I've already proved to you that you can't afford it. I showed you my W-2 from 2012. But when you tell your mind, I told you this is a mindset game. When you use the words I can't, you turn off your subconscious mind. Well, watch this, y'all. Your conscious mind, right? What you use when you're awake, it only processes 40 bits per second. Your subconscious mind, it processes 40 million bits per second. When you use the words I can't, you actually turn off your subconscious mind. When you go to sleep tonight, what keeps you breathing, y'all? What keeps you breathing when you go to sleep at night? Your subconscious mind. What keeps your heart beating when you go to sleep at night? It's your subconscious mind. What tells you it's time to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night? That's your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is working for you 24/7, but you're trying to build wealth just using your conscious mind, which only works maybe 16 hours a day, and that's depleting, starting from here, going on the way down. We want to tap into the subconscious mind, but when you use the words I can't, you turn off the subconscious mind. Okay, so instead, you actually want to pose a question to the subconscious mind, which is, how can I afford it? When you pose a question to the subconscious mind, it will endlessly seek the answer until it finds it. So you wonder why you wake up with dreams and ideas for a new business, etc., because your subconscious mind was working for you while your conscious mind was asleep. I told you this is going to be about mindset, y'all. Mindset related to real estate. Right? So some of you told yourself that you can't buy real estate. And so now when real estate opportunities present themselves to you, you can't even see them. It's like having the belief that all men are dogs. You're looking for a husband. You think that all men are dogs. Guess what? If the perfect man shows up right in front of you, you won't even see him. You will see right through him because your beliefs say that all men are dogs. Are y'all with me? Same thing for guys. You say all women are this. I don't know. I don't even want to use any word like that, right? All women are this, and the perfect woman to show up to you, you won't even see her because of your beliefs about women. Are y'all understanding what I'm saying? Okay. So again, we have to change our belief system. Okay. So the monthly payment, the average 2-bedroom in the United States costs $1,225. Okay. The average single family home at $218,000 or 3.8% interest for 30 years or 3.5% down is $1,199. This is the actual mortgage payment. Okay, so it's actually cheaper to own than it is to rent, right? So it's not that you can't make the monthly payment. You've been paying rent on time all day long. Some of y'all been paying rent on time for years. Guess what? What's the difference between paying a rent and paying a mortgage? What's the difference? There is none. There is none. So you can make the monthly payment. This person, she wrote me, and this is the opportunity cost of paying rent. Hey, Julian, I love your online seminar. I really wish I could join, but being a single working mom right now is what's preventing me from pursuing my dream. At this time, I pay $1,200 per month for 9 years, which is insane for rent to a slumlord who never fixes anything. Look at this, y'all. $1,200 per month for 9 years. 1,200 times 12 times 9 years. This woman has paid $130,000 to a slumlord who doesn't care about her, her family, or our community. You look at your bank account, you wonder why you don't have any money in there. It's because it's all gone to rent. Some of y'all been renting, oh, I moved out of home. Look at me, I'm living on my own. What did I say in the poem? Living on your own, but you don't own ish. That's not something to celebrate, you living on your own if you're renting. It's not something to celebrate. You should be staying in your mama's basement until you can step into your own property. If I asked all of you to calculate how much rent you've paid since you've been living on your own, it makes some of you nauseous. $2,000 a month of rent in New York for 12 months a year from the ages 22 to 65, 22 when you graduate from college to 65 when you retire, that's over $1 million in rent, y'all. $1 million. So some people so attached to bondage in cities like New York when they about to cough up $1 million in rent alone over the course of their life because they just love New York City so much. Why would you be attached to bondage? You make $150 in New York, you still feel like a slave. You still feel like a slave and you're making $150 in New York. Okay, so we need to talk about that. Now, in chat, please let me know how much you pay in rent and how much you pay in mortgage. Type 1,000 rent or 1,000 mortgage. 1182 rent, 1,800 rent, 1K. Oh, it's going too fast. 1496 rent, 1,600 rent, 2,700 mortgage. Oh man, y'all go 3,500 mortgage, 600 rent, 3K mortgage, 1,200 mortgage, 2,100 mortgage, 1,820 rent. Look, y'all want to come down to New Orleans and rent from me because y'all just like giving out money on the first of the month. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. Y'all like giving out money on the first of the month? Y'all like giving out money on the first of the month? I need to know because these numbers are ridiculous. So watch this, y'all. If instead, let's just take 1,000. I know those numbers are way higher, but watch this. Let's say your rent was $1,000 or your mortgage was $1,000. If instead of you paying somebody else $1,000 a month, you could actually keep that $1,000 and invest it at 5%, okay, every single month for the next 40 years, how much money would you have? How much money do you think you have? If you could keep that $1,000, just keep your rent money and invest it at a conservative 5% over the next 40 years, how much do you think you would have? You would all be millionaires, y'all. It's math. You would all have $1.5 million, y'all. If you could just stop paying $1,000 worth of rent or mortgage expense for the next 40 years and invest that money at 5%. This is the financial model that I built out to show you, but this is just really math, y'all. So tonight I'm actually showing you a proven path for you to be a millionaire, but I want to be very clear. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. I'm going to say it one more time. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is get rich, guaranteed over time. Get rich, guaranteed over time. If you were looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, please sign off now. This is not the webinar that you need to be on. But if you're willing to play the long-term game, I can show you a proven path to make you and your family millionaires over time. Are y'all with that? Okay? So the first thing we need to address is this rent. So type renter if you're a renter. Type renter if you're a renter. Okay. So all of you are renters. I need you to accept for the fact that you are homeless. If you are a renter, you are homeless. See, you slipped into renter mentality. You over here bragging about living on your own. You over here bragging about your apartment and its views and where it's located, how close it is to the train. You got Thai food downstairs, this and that and this. And guess what? I don't care about any of that. Do you own it? Do you own it? You were supposed to be temporarily renting to position yourself for ownership, but you slipped into renter consciousness, renter mentality. And now you've been there for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, paying somebody else's mortgage. What should have happened is when you came in, you should have actually moved all your boxes in and you should have left them packed. And you should have been eating off of paper plates with plastic utensils so that every time you walk into that door, you remembered, oh, this is just a temporary holding space for me. I'm not going to be here. Why unpack when you know you're not going to be there permanently? Some of you are painting the walls, putting up bookshelves, buying furniture for certain nooks, buying art for the wall, sweeping the front, mowing the lawn as if it's yours. It is not yours. You are not on the title. You are not on the deed. So when you want to invite people over after the quarantine and after coronavirus has settled down and you want to have a dinner party, on the invitation, because you're inviting over your friends and your family, on the invitation, don't put come over to my apartment, y'all. Because when you told yourself it was my apartment, you told your subconscious mind you were safe. The reality is it's not your apartment. You're not on the title. You're not on the deed. So on the invitation, I need you to be very clear because you ain't got to lie to kick it. I want you to be very clear. Come over to Sally or Timmy's apartment because that's who I've been paying whose mortgage I've been paying for the past 5 years. Put their name on the invitation because it's not yours. Why keep calling it your apartment? It's not yours. It's not yours. You ain't got to lie to kick it. Let's just be honest. You're inviting your friends and family, right? Tell them whose apartment it really is just to remind yourself that this isn't mine. And if you want to come over to my dinner party and see all of my U-Haul boxes, then come over because I'm not going to be here for long. I'm actually stacking my bread to go own something. Okay? So this person is actually sleeping on the bus bench right now. Homeless person. Okay? Out there, it's raining here in New Orleans. They're sleeping out on a bus bench. They've probably been through some traumatic experience, probably have mental health issues, right? They are truly, truly homeless. Right? And here you are with the internet, with a computer, with a phone, with the job, with good education, with your good head on your shoulders. How is it that this homeless person who is truly homeless, who has been through all these kind of situations, has no bank account whatsoever, probably has no ID, how is it that they own as many properties as you do? Zero. How do they own as many properties as you do? Zero. And here you are following the American dream, being good, get good grades, go to good school, get a good job. And this homeless person owns as many properties as you. You are homeless and you need to accept that reality. They can give you a 60-day notice and say, I'm moving into this unit. Get out. Okay? Now, yeah, truth hurts and the truth will set you free. Okay? It's both. The truth hurts and the truth will set you free. Tonight is going to be a little bit of tough love, y'all. Know that love is a noun and tough is just the adjective, because I know that soft stuff, it don't work. I've tried that soft stuff. I've tried to say this nicely, and it doesn't get people to move up off their butt. You need to go get up, get out, and get something. Okay? And I'll do whatever it takes from here in order to help you do that. In fact, for all of you who are out there who are renting, you know what my prayer for you is? And then my prayers manifest. And I say this jokingly, okay? Because I don't really want this to manifest in your life, but I pray for all of you to have more bed bugs, more roaches, and more rats. Because I think that that's the only thing that's going to get you up out of your renter mentality. I want you to be itching tonight. I want you to go, oh, this is not mine. I don't want to have neighbors forever. I don't want to be sharing walls with folks. I want my own. I think that's the only thing that's going to make you uncomfortable, because you're really comfortable. Where do you go? You go to your apartment to get comfortable. No, you should never be comfortable in an apartment that you do not own. You should never be comfortable in an apartment that you do not own. You should never be comfortable paying $1,500 in rent every single month. That should never be comfortable. I don't care what kind of mattress you got. I don't care about your couch. You should never be comfortable coughing up $1,500 per month to somebody else's last name. Y'all with me? Now, single family buyers. It ain't safe, it ain't safe, it ain't safe. And again, I'm coming out of love, okay? Just to be real with you, the word mortgage, it literally means death pledge. Mort, as in mortician. What does a mortician do? They deal with death, right? Mortgage literally means death pledge. So some of y'all happily signed a death pledge. Posted your little pictures on Instagram. Look at me, I'm a homeowner, look at me. All right, let me show you what actually you signed up for the next 30 years. Why nobody tells it to you like this, I don't know, but here I am to tell it to you, okay? So most of you signed a death pledge. You know, some of you are afraid to leave jobs that you hate because you're afraid of missing one mortgage payment. That's a death pledge. You're dying slowly. In fact, slow death is worse than a fast death. And some of you have signed up to die slowly over the next 30 years because you're afraid of missing a mortgage payment. You hate your job. You want to do something else. You know it's not your calling. You want to be an entrepreneur. You know your purpose is different than what you were signed up for, but you're afraid of missing that mortgage payment. Stop me when I'm lying, y'all. So let me show you how that transaction unfolds. If you're a single family buyer, because you're not a home owner, see, on HGTV, they'll have you fooled and they'll have you thinking you're a home owner. Congrats, you're a home owner. No, you're not. You were a home buyer at the time. The bank owns 96.5% of your home. You only paid a 3.5% down payment. So the truth is that the bank buys your home and then it rents it to you for 30 years. You thought you weren't renting? Yes, you were. You weren't renting from a landlord. You were actually renting money from a bank. It's called interest. You were paying rent in the form of interest. The interest on a $300,000 home at 3.5% down at 4% is $208,000 over 360 months. $208,000. You divide that by 360 months, that's actually equivalent to $578 that you are paying in rent to rent the bank's money for the next 30 years. So this whole idea, oh, look at me, I'm not paying rent no more. Yes, you are. You're paying rent to the bank for their money. And I have not included private PMI, right? I have not included your homeowner's insurance or your property taxes or your utilities. In fact, some of you who actually bought single family homes, let's say you have 2,000 square feet, some of you have more money going out of the door, even though you quote unquote own the home, you have more money going out of the door in expenses than somebody who is renting the same square footage next door to you. Why? Because your first mortgage payment, you already know. What percentage of your first mortgage payment actually went to principal? What percentage of your first mortgage payment actually went to principal? Only 30%. So your first mortgage payment is $1,000. Only $300 went to actually paying down the principal. The 700 went to interest. Stop me when I'm lying, y'all. So a lot of you got caught up in the American dream. You wanted to be in a rush to own a single family home, to show people around you that you had made it. I acquired a home, but it was a trap. It was a trap. I'm sorry to say it was a trap. Okay. I'm here to try to get you out of that trap. For those of you who are single family buyers, it's going to be a little bit more of an uphill battle, but there are actually 6 ways for you to reverse yourself out of that situation from home buyer into real estate investor. Okay. You're here tonight. This is the first step, but there are 6 different strategies that you can employ to get out of that situation. So in the for those of you who are single family buyers, please type messed up if you feel you messed up. And I'm not doing this to shame you. I'm doing this because I know that there are a lot of renters who are here, and I want you to encourage them not to follow the same footsteps. Renters, I want you to see this. Renters, see all these single family buyers letting you know, please do not follow in my footsteps. Please do not follow my footsteps. Again, single family buyers, I'm not doing this to shame you whatsoever. Okay, nobody's associated with your face or anything like that. I'm just doing this to encourage the other people who are on this webinar not to follow in the same footsteps. Okay, so let's keep it going. So if you can pay rent, you can own a single family home. Okay, but we're not talking about single family homes. If you don't want to pay rent or a mortgage ever again, you can simply own a multifamily home. It's that simple. Okay, so the down payment. A lot of people think that they can never save up for the down payment. Well, there's a couple programs out there that you can use. The first one I'm going to show you. The first program that's out there is no down payment, no closing costs, no points or fees, and no credit score consideration. The program is called NACA, www.naca.com, okay? These men are not stock images. These are men that I actually know who went through this program. That's Mark. He owns a double in Inglewood, California. Great market. The bottom is Kevin. He owns a duplex in Brooklyn, New York. The upper right is Kazi and Nefra. They own a fourplex in Los Angeles. They all went through the NACA program. NACA is 0% down payment. It's 0% down payment. So your excuse of not being able to save up for the down payment has just been wiped clean and clear. You probably heard of NACA. You might have been on the bus. You might have been at work, but it didn't register you because you didn't think it was ever possible. Okay. In fact, how many of you have been pre-approved? Type no if you haven't been pre-approved, and type yes if type pre-approved if you have been. How many have been pre-approved? So some of you haven't even got pre-approved, and you have no clue what the bank will even lend you. You've actually taken yourself out of the game. You're watching from the sidelines while everybody else is playing, thinking that you're not good enough to get in. And you have no clue how much the bank will lend you. You've taken yourself out of the game based on your own limiting beliefs and assumptions about real estate. Real estate is the most leveraged asset in the entire world. And you could be in the game right now, but you just didn't know it. What they say? You didn't even know it. You didn't even know it. Okay? So my challenge and my homework for everybody that's here is to go get pre-approved. It costs you nothing. Oh, but Julian, I don't want them to run an inquiry on my credit. Well, you can actually get 5 inquiries from banks in 30 days without it affecting your credit score. Okay? So everybody here needs to go get pre-approved and see. Just go see. One of my students, he thought he would only get pre-approved for $350,000, and that was not going to be enough to play in his market. Guess what he got pre-approved for, y'all? $500,000. And that was more than enough to play in his market, to buy his multifamily real estate. So your homework by Friday is to go get pre-approved if you haven't already done so. I don't care what your credit is. I don't care what your saving is. The only person who cannot get pre-approved right now is somebody with no job, okay? If you don't have a job, you're not going to be unemployed forever, but it's going to be hard for you to get pre-approved. If your credit is bad, you might get pre-approved. You're just going to get pre-approved for maybe $50,000, which is not going to be enough, okay? So everybody can get pre-approved except for if you're unemployed, all right? You need credit, you need cash flow, and you need cash savings, okay, to get pre-approved, all right? And if all those are low, then your pre-approval is going to be low. But you can still go and get pre-approved to see where the holes are in your application, all right? So I say this all the time. Your intellectual property, what you know, actually can lead you to acquiring physical property. Your intellectual property can get you physical property, but some of you just don't know enough yet, okay? So I'm trying to give you as much as I can in this time that we have. Now, The government has a program called the FHA program. It's only 3.5% down, 3.5% down. So this duplex that I have here in New Orleans, the price was $300,000. The down payment on 3.5% down is only $10,500. So I can literally control this asset. Andre, you can. Andre, you can use NACA for investment properties. Again, if you're not the teacher, please do not give advice. Andre, I'm not trying to call you out, but I just need to say that you can use NACA for investment properties. I have many all of my students, all the pictures, all the people that I just showed you have all used NACA for investment properties. Okay, so if you're not the teacher, please do not give advice. You're here to learn from me tonight. So I need you just to stay open and listen. All right, please do not, if you don't have 10 properties, then please do not try to teach tonight. All right, if you do not have 10 properties, please do not try to teach tonight. I'm teaching tonight. When you get to 11 properties and I'm at 10, then I'm happy to listen to you. I'm saying this because I don't want, we take advice from the wrong people and those wrong people steer you wrong, okay? Andre, I hope that someday he elevates and he's able to teach people who don't have what he has. But I just want to be clear because I see stuff happen in the chat in the corner of my eye while I'm teaching, and you steer a whole bunch of people down the wrong path. We got hundreds and hundreds of people here. Some people see that comment and now they're like, oh, I can't go to NACA because it's an investment property. Now hundreds of people gone off because you gave the wrong information. So I need people just to be here to be students and to learn tonight. Are we cool with that? Can we just be students and learn tonight? And then come question and challenge me after, but don't try to put advice out there that you aren't even 100% certain of. All right, thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Andre, it's all love, brother. I just had to catch that because you're about to send hundreds of people in the wrong direction. Okay, cool. Let's keep it going. So here's the name of the game. Here's the name of the game. I know single family buyers, this is not for you. And I know you wish you would have just saw this slide before. All right. Now, what you should really do is a lot of people use their FHA loan or NACA to buy their single family home. And they use 3.5% down to buy a $100,000 home. And again, these numbers are just, don't trip off the numbers, okay? There's no $100,000, there's not that many $100,000. Actually, I'm about to buy a $100,000 home in Baton Rouge, but in smaller markets, okay? 3.5% down on $100,000 is $3,500, okay? Now, single family buyers, they come here and they're like, oh, Julian, I wanna be an investor, but they didn't realize that they were gonna have to put 25% down on that investment property. Now that investment property is 25% down on 300,000 is 75,000. So their total down payments are $78,000. Whereas look at this, y'all. If they literally just would have switched it around and they would have bought the multifamily first using the 3.5% down, that's 3.5% down on 300,000 is 10,500. They live there for 1 year because that's the FHA requirement. And then you go over to buy your single family home a year later. Let's say you put 25% down on a $100,000 home. Guess what? That's $25,000 down payment. Look at the total down payment, 78,000 versus 35,000. So it's literally twice as hard to buy a single family first and then a multifamily than it is to buy a multifamily then a single family. It's literally twice as hard, just numerically. Okay. So again, for the single family buyers, I know you feel like you messed up. Okay. There's 6 ways out. And I'm going to share you with some of them with you in just a second, okay? For those of you who came in late, this is my actual portfolio, okay? These are the 10 properties that I have control over, right? And I just want to be transparent that these are real properties, all right? Now, here is the game plan here's the play that we're all seeking to run, right? Most of you are renting right now. You're paying $1,000 per month in rent to a landlord, okay? And perhaps you're saving $250. Your landlord takes that $3,000, they pay $1,500 to the bank for their mortgage, right? Now you want to be that landlord, okay? So you acquire a similar property to the one that you're renting, right? Just like I did in Brooklyn, right? So now you have 2 tenants, just like I did. This is my exact game plan. 2 tenants paying you $1,000 each, okay? And on top of that, watch this, y'all. You're no longer paying rent over here. So that's actually another $1,000. So now you have $3,000 that just came in revenue, but you do have a mortgage to pay, okay? So you take that $3,000, you pay $1,500 to the bank for the mortgage, and now you have $1,500 and you're living for free. you are living for free. Just like that, off of one decision, off of one purchase bought right. Okay. Now, Julian, I don't want people living above me or next door to me, this and that. What do I want my single family home? Okay. FHA, you only have to live there for 1 year. So what do? After 1 year, you move out. Okay. You replace yourself with a tenant, right? And now you're getting $3,000 from that property. You also have the $1,000 from not paying rent anymore. So that's $4,000. You take $1,500 of that to pay the first mortgage. You take another $1,500 to pay for the mortgage on your single family home. Plus you have an additional $1,000 left over. And now you're not paying a rent, or you're not paying a mortgage on either property, because all of the mortgage payments come from this one property. Okay. This is the name of the game. This is the play that we are all seeking to run. And it is all possible. Some of you who have everything lined up, you are literally 3 months away from being rent and mortgage free. Some of you here, you didn't even know it, are literally 3 months away from being rent and mortgage free. Some of you are 15 months away from not only being rent and mortgage free, but also having a single family home that you desire, paid for by other people. You're that close. Imagine being enslaved, because there's no such thing as a slave. God doesn't give birth to slaves, okay? Imagine being enslaved in Maryland and being enslaved for 40 years, only to find out when you were 60-something that the Mason-Dixon line was right on the other side of that hill. Like literally, if you could see it off on the horizon, and if you just ran for it, you could probably make it. And you didn't know that for 40 years. How would you feel? You 66 and it was there. It was right on the other side of that hill all along, and you just didn't even know it. Some of you were closer than you even could imagine to achieving rent and mortgage freedom. Okay, so that's why you're here tonight, and this is what I'm exposing you to, right? So the multifamily math, right? If I told you that I found an ATM machine that would eliminate your $1,000 a month rent expense forever, and on top of that, give you an extra $90 cash every single month guaranteed, all you have to do is pay $10,500 one time. Would you give up or go get the money? Please let me know in chat. Give up or go get the money. I found an ATM machine. It'll give you $1,090 every single month. All you have to pay is $10,500 one time. Would you give up or go get the money? Okay. Y'all like, you know me, I do what I gotta do. I'll go get that money. I do. Okay, y'all talking mess right now. Y'all talking mess right now. We'll see. We'll see. So here it is, y'all. Here's the ATM machine. Doesn't look like the one at your bank. Doesn't look like the one at the bodega. This is where the ATM machine is. You've been driving by it on your way to work, on your way to the grocery store, the way to pick up your kids. You've been driving by ATM machines. You just couldn't see them. Here's the ATM machine. The price is $300,000. 3.5% down payment is $10,500. What did I just say? $10,500. The rents on this property are $3,200. It's $1,600 up here, $1,600 down here. The mortgage is $1,259. The taxes and insurance are $335. The CapEx, repair reserve, and vacancy rate is $515. That is money that I set aside from rent for future vacancy, for future repairs, and for future major maintenance like roof, furnace, foundation, plumbing, etc. So I'm taking that $515 out and just putting it in a reserves account for the future. Okay. People don't teach you that kind of stuff. Okay. So the cash flow on this property is $1,090 every single month. This is an ATM machine that pays me every single month. Okay. So tell me this. What other business can you buy for $300,000 with only $10,500 down, get financed for the other $289,000 in 30 to 45 days simply by emailing some documents to your lender, have that business immediately cash flow in 30 days, and succeed with minimal time, effort, or experience? Please let me know in chat. There is none. There is none. Okay. So this is why multifamily real estate should be the first asset in your family's name. Now, here's the key. Buying multifamily real estate is different than buying single family real estate. When you're buying single family real estate is how much am I getting? How much did I get approved for? 500,000. How much is this home? Is 490. Do I like it? Yes. 3 decisions when it comes to single family real estate. When it comes to acquiring multifamily real estate, requires 23 numbers to evaluate a deal. 23 numbers to evaluate a multifamily real estate deal. Single family, only 3 numbers, okay? So you have to know each one of these numbers. You leave out one of these numbers and it can throw off your entire deal. You leave off insurance, it can throw off your entire deal. You leave off CapEx, it can throw off your entire deal. You have to know all of these numbers to know if that deal is actually worth it or not. Because I know what all these numbers are and how to find them quickly, I'm able to look at a deal, evaluate it in 10 minutes, even text message my agent, say I would like to make this offer on this property, and they will send me back a purchase agreement via DocuSign. And within 30 minutes, I'll have my offer in. The only thing that beats a cash offer is a fast offer, y'all. The only thing that beats a cash offer is a fast offer. So you have to know how to evaluate deals quickly, okay? Now, myth number 2 is that I missed my opportunity. I shared with you all earlier, coronavirus actually is presenting an opportunity in real estate because once people come out of forbearance, they're gonna have to come up off their properties because they bought wrong. That's usually what happens when properties get exchanged is because people bought wrong, okay? And so you wanna be there to actually take advantage of that. So you didn't miss your opportunities. In real estate, you have to create your opportunities, but you have to retrain your eyes to be able to see opportunities, okay? So who's been training your eyes? Who's been training your eyes in regards to real estate thus far? Please let me know in chat. Who's been training your eyes? Who's been training your eyes in real estate? There you go. HGTV, foolishness. Look, y'all, your first investment property won't look like anything you've ever seen on HGTV. None of my properties will ever be on HGTV. And guess what, y'all? I don't care. My property's cash flow. I don't care about how they look. I don't care about the design. This is not what this is about. But many of your eyes are being trained by HGTV to think that that's what real estate is really all about. It is not, okay? So I'm gonna break this down for you in just a second. Now, a lot of you watching shows like the Property Brothers. I used to watch the Property Brothers, you know what I'm saying? But I say, screw the Property Brothers. I'm your new property brother with an A. And I'm gonna keep it real with you about real estate. This is not about granite countertops. This is about guaranteed cash flow. This is about guaranteed cash flow, all right? Some of y'all are so focused on the wrong things. You over here buying a home and you getting enamored by a stainless steel refrigerator. You know how much a stainless steel refrigerator costs? It costs about $800. Why would you make a $400,000 decision off of an $800 refrigerator? You know how much granite countertops cost? They cost about $1,200 with the sink cut undermount. Why would you make a $400,000 decision off of a $1,200 countertop? You're focused on the wrong things because HGTV has been training your eyes. You need to be able to see real estate differently, and that's what I'm here to show you how to do, right? So this was my first property in Brooklyn. My first home was not my dream home, but guess what? It made my dreams possible, y'all. My first home was not my dream home, and I knew it, but it made my dreams possible. It wasn't a traditional brownstone like you see on the Cosby Show. No, it was 3-family though, and it cash flowed like a brownstone. It had the linen white paint. They use linen white paint. It would be better to just have used white paint, but they use this nasty linen white paint. The floors are nice, okay? The floors are definitely nice, but look at my kitchen. No stainless steel appliances in there, okay? White stove, white hood range, white dishwasher. Now, I love that dishwasher. That dishwasher was amazing. The only thing stainless steel in my kitchen was a sink. They had the cheapest countertops that you get from Lowe's. Go in the back of Lowe's and you'll see these countertops back there, and they had the cheapest cabinets. Okay, this was my kitchen, right? But guess what? I didn't care because I knew that this was an asset that was going to be in my family's name, all right? And it does make families happy. So we need to be very clear about HGTV versus multifamily investor. You want to be a single family buyer or multifamily investor? Single family buyers, they focus on granite countertops. Multifamily investors focus on guaranteed cash flow. Single family buyers, they buy based on emotions. Multifamily investors buy based on economics. Single family buyers trying to keep up with the Joneses. Multifamily investors trying to get ahead of the Joneses. Single family buyers, they're looking for their dream home. Multifamily investors are looking for an asset that will pay for their dream home. Single family buyers are looking for a place to raise their kids. Multifamily investors are looking for a place to raise their net worth. Single family buyers are looking for a place to call home. Multifamily investors are looking for a place that other people can call home. Single family buyers are looking for open concept. Multifamily investors are looking to open the possibilities in their life. Single family buyers are looking for a finished basement, another one of those buzzwords. Multifamily investors are looking to start building wealth. You got to let me know which side of the line you intend to be on, y'all. You going to be an MI or SB? You going to be an MI or SB? If you do the MI side right, I can get you your single family pretty much without you paying a mortgage whatsoever over time. If you do the MI side right, if we just change the sequence up a little bit, then you can get the single family that you desire. Guess what? I've been well in position to get the single family that I desire, but guess what? I don't value single family homes, so I still live in one of my multifamilies. I have no desire to really buy a single family home because it's not an asset. Okay, so when I really do it, I'm gonna really, really do it, y'all. When I really do it, I'm gonna really, really do it. But that's after I got enough multifamilies to pay for it free and clear, and I already have that. But it's not an investment, it's a liability to me, okay? So this is why we want to be on the MI side. So let me show you the multifamily map. A lot of y'all are looking for deals on Truly and Zillow. You have to be very clear about the difference between a listing and a deal. A listing is what you see on Truly and Zillow. Listings are not deals. A deal is something where there's built-in equity, where there's guaranteed cash flow, where there's definite appreciation for appreciation potential, okay? Listing and deals are two different things. Do not call everything a real estate deal, all right? And guess what? I don't go to Truly and Zillow. This is not where I find my deals. I find my deals off market, because once a listing hits these websites, it has a 30% markup. Why? Because more people are seeing it, okay? So we want to learn how to find off-market deals, not just real estate listings, all right? So off-market deals, how do I get them? I get them through Instagram. I get them via text message. I get them through Facebook. I got people who are sending me off-market deals all the time. This is how you find great deals. This is one of my students. One of them asked, Gabrielle asked, congratulations, did you find this deal on Zillow? Ronique said, no, I found it through a real estate financial broker who knew a wholesaler. This is a relationship game. These deals that are off market, they're called pocket deals. That's when an agent gets it, and before it hits MLS, they tell their investors, right? A lender might get it, your contractor might get it, a wholesaler might get it. So we want to build our real estate Rolodex so that we have off-market deals coming to us, and we have the confidence to run and evaluate that deal and make an offer before it even hits MLS, okay? So this is where value is found, but we have to train our eyes, okay? So there are 4 eyes of real estate. There's eyes, first and foremost, for the market. Is this market expanding or contracting? What data and information do I look at to know if a market is expanding or contracting? Then you have to have eyes for the neighborhood. Here in this booklet that I've laid out, my whole mindset, I've laid it out. We look for the 33 plus signs of gentrification. You see a white woman jogging in the middle of the night with headphones on and not looking over her shoulder, then guess what? That neighborhood is gentrified or it's about to be gentrified, okay? So you need to know what the 33 signs of gentrification are and be able to get ahead of them. If you see those signs occurring in a neighborhood, that's where you buy, on the other side of that neighborhood, okay? Then you have to have eyes for the property. Eyes for the property. Can you see the hidden value and the hidden cost? I'm not looking at granite countertops and stainless steel appliances. I'm going in and I'm looking for the hidden value and the hidden cost, okay? And if I check off enough of these boxes that are in this booklet, then guess what? I'm moving on that deal. And then finally, you want to have eyes for the deal. There's typically about 3 ways to structure any real estate deal, and you need to know which way is best given the deal that you have in your hand, okay? Now, how many of you are signed up with a real estate agent and you told them, I want this many square feet, this many bedrooms, this many bathrooms, this neighborhood, this price point, and they send you emails every single day? How many of you signed up with a real estate agent like that? Okay? You honestly think you're gonna find a real estate deal like that, y'all? When that email is going out to thousands and thousands of people just like you probably stopped opening the emails because you looked at them and the price just be too ridiculous, okay? This is not how we find deals. We have to learn how to find off-market deals. So I'm gonna end very soon, okay? I need to show you this. This is the last one, myth number 3. This one is going to give some of y'all a headache, okay? Some of y'all are on the Dave Ramsey plan and you're trying to be debt-free and this and that. That is not the name of the game, and I'm gonna show you exactly how. You think you need to pay down your debt first. How many got student loans? How many got student loans? Okay. Guess what, y'all? You don't have to pay down your debt first. What you need to do is you need to buy an asset that will pay down your debt first. I'm gonna let that sit for just a second. You don't have to pay off your student loans. You don't have to pay off your credit card. Instead, you want to buy an asset that does it for you. Let me explain. A lot of y'all on that Dave Ramsey plan and you're trying to be debt free. You want to get your student loans done. Your student loans are cheap money. Why would you rush to get off cheap money? Some of you don't even understand the concept of cheap money yet. Okay. That's what I'll teach you over time. Okay. The reality is that, watch this, y'all. Debt-free does not mean financially free. Debt-free, being debt-free does not mean that you're financially free. Why? Because financial freedom is when your passive income is greater than your cost of living, okay? If you're debt-free, but all your income is still active income, then you are not financially free. So you actually want to use debt in the right way, but a lot of you have a bad relationship with debt because all the debt that you have is bad debt, okay? You have bad debt. What is bad debt? Bad debt is debt that you have to pay for, that you pay back yourself. Bad debt is credit card debt. Bad debt is single family mortgage. Bad debt is student loans, okay? That's bad debt. But what you really want to do is you want to use good debt to acquire an asset. Good debt pays for itself and leaves you with cash flow. So you use good debt like a mortgage on a multifamily home, not on a single family home. Use good debt to acquire an asset that then gives you cash flow that allows you to pay off another debt. Then the fact that you're paying no rent allows you to pay off your single family mortgage. Then the fact that you're going to get tax savings from that property allows you to pay another bad debt. So you want to use good debt to acquire an assets that then pay off themselves and the bad debts that you have. This is so counterintuitive to folks. It's going to take some of y'all a while to get it. Some of y'all won't get this for another 5 years, okay? But you know that you heard it here first, okay? So watch this. I'm going to break this down to you. I'm going to show you why it's so stupid to rush to pay off your student loans if you have federal student loans. Watch this. 2 people have $40,000 in student loans. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. One person's on the Dave Ramsey plan and they're going to rush to pay it off and they're going to try to save up and pay off $20,000 a year. They're going to sleep on a couch somewhere and eat ramen and peanut butter jelly sandwich for 2 years until they pay off their debt because they want to be debt free and ring Dave Ramsey's bell. The other person was on this webinar and they said, nope, I'm going to buy a $300,000 asset. I'm going to buy a multifamily property and I'm going to let the cash flow from that property pay off my student loans. Watch what happened to these 2 people, y'all. Person A rushes to pay off the $40,000 in student debt over 2 years, right? Living very meagerly, riding their bike to work and things of that nature, not taking any vacations, not doing anything that they love because they're trying to pay off this debt. And now after 2 years, they're debt free. They ring Dave Ramsey's bell. But guess what? Now they have no money, okay? Because they threw it all to Sally Mae, okay? Now they have to save up to acquire the same property that other person bought a few years ago, okay? That $300,000 property, if it appreciates by 3% every single year, then guess how much that $300,000 property is 4 years later? That same property is now worth $340,000. So watch this, y'all. This person was rushing to pay off $40,000 in student debt, and they successfully did it in 2 years. But what happened, y'all? Guess what? They got the $40,000 in debt handed right back to them in the form of the mortgage because now that same property that they could have got 4 years ago now costs $40,000 more. Did y'all catch that? They were rushing to pay off $40,000 in student debt when they could have acquired a $300,000 asset that appreciates, okay? And they thought they were doing good. And now they want to buy the same house that the other person who came to this webinar bought years earlier, but the same house across the street now costs $340,000. So they just got the $40,000 in debt handed right back to them, but now it's not in the form of a student loan. It's in the form of $40,000 in extra mortgage. They thought they were doing good and they were doing it backwards. Okay? Somebody in the chat said student debt is good debt. It's one of the lies, y'all. Please stop trying to teach in the chat, y'all. Student debt is not good debt. Student debt, you have to pay it back. It is not good debt. Student debt does not directly pay for itself. The lie is that you get student debt, you get an education, and then that education will get you a job that then allows you to pay back that student debt. Y'all got to stop trying to teach in the chat, y'all. Okay? All right, cool. Let's keep it pushing. So, 4 benefits of multifamily real estate. First one, over 30 years, this property, watch what this does for me. This one single property, y'all, that I've showed you over and over and over again. 30 years, it will provide me with $638,000 in cash flow over 30 years. Okay, again, this is not get rich quick. This is after principal, interest, taxes, insurance, etc. $638,000, this one single property. The tax savings on this property, because I get to depreciate this asset over 27.5 years, will be $278,000. Over $250,000 that I save in taxes. The principal pay down will be $225,000 by the tenant, not by me. And then the appreciation, if it appreciates by 1% per year over the next 30 years, will be $104,000. So when you add all those up, guess what? This one single decision that I made last year will actually lead to a $1.2 million shift in generational wealth from my last name. One decision, one property. Okay. So this is the power of multifamily real estate. Those are the 4 benefits. So everybody's talking about securing the bag. Well, here's how you secure the bag. You go secure a building, and that will secure your housing. It will secure your retirement, and it will secure your legacy. So with that, in chat, please let me know, what was your greatest takeaway from tonight? What was your greatest takeaway from tonight? NACA, everything, mindset, everything. Get pre-approved, NACA resources, the numbers and the math, the mindset, generational wealth, game changer, everything, mindset, 40K coming back to you when you're rushing to pay off student loans, NACA, mindset, everything. Cool. So I'm glad it hit home, y'all. No pun intended. No pun intended. So with that, earlier you promised that if I rocked, I could take 10 minutes to share an opportunity with you. If I still got the green light to do that, please let me know in chat. Please let me know if we're good to go. For those of you not interested, I hope this webinar has blessed you. I wish you the best on your journey. If you're not interested in hearing about how to do this in the fastest way possible without making mistakes, I hope I give you enough to chew on. But for those of you who are really serious and want to make this happen as quickly as possible, then I'd love to share this opportunity with you. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So obviously you're here right now because you want generational wealth, you want passive income, and you want more freedom. And I know because that was me too. Now, there are many different ways to get into real estate. There's Airbnb, there's tax liens, there's wholesaling, there's commercial real estate, there's being a real estate agent. Where my expertise is actually in multifamily real estate. This is where I can do a deep dive with you, okay? Now, the real question we have to ask is the $1 million question. What are you going to do today to make sure that you are never economically vulnerable like this tomorrow? A lot of us got exposed, not me, but a lot of people got exposed by coronavirus. They realized that they might have had a good job and active income, but they realized that they had no assets whatsoever, okay? And so we got to do something different now to prepare, because what if this thing has waves? What if this thing has waves and keeps coming back over and over and over again? How are you going to make sure that you have passive income and assets, right? That your housing is secure and things of that nature. For those of you who came in late, this is my actual real estate portfolio. These are the 10 properties that I control at this moment in time, and I'm continuing to expand that portfolio. I built this portfolio over the 6 years, and you can see it's 30 doors, 10 properties, 13.83% cash on cash return, $3.9 million in value, okay? For those of you who are like, I don't know if those are really his properties, you can all go to nolaassessor.com, nolaassessor.com. Please do it tomorrow, and look for my name, Julian Newton Gordon, or Purpose Properties, which is my LLC, and you will see the properties that I have here in New Orleans if you need to verify that information. If I know, because I know there's a lot of people in this game who aren't 100% honest. Some of you have been burned by organizations like Fortune Builders, who charge $15,000 for what I'm sharing with you tonight. And I've been to some of their hotel meetings, and it's 70% people of color. Once I went there, I was like, nope, I got to give this information to my people in a way that they can afford it. I don't want your down payment. I do not want your down payment. I want to give you the information. Yes, you're going to have to put some skin in the game for that information, okay? But I don't want your down payment. I want you to have your down payment so that you can get to success faster, all right? So what I want to invite you all to be part of is to be part of the experience that I created for you called the Multifamily Masterplan. It's a 12-week experience where I will walk you through everything that we just discussed and a lot more to accelerate how quickly you're able to buy a multifamily home in the right way that gives you the rent freedom, right, and or positive cash flow to pay another debt like your single-family home mortgage, student loans, credit card debts, or medical bills. The way the program is structured is it has 5 modules: finance it, find it, finalize it, fix it, and fill it. Okay, and I'll walk you through those modules really, really quick. The finance it module is no to low money down programs and grants you can use to get started without a huge savings. What exactly are lenders looking for? The key numbers and ratios you need to be aware of. Quick credit fixes to improve your credit score and keep your interest rates down and save tens of thousands of dollars. FHA loans debunk the dark side that most people don't talk about beyond it being 3.5% down. Why you must shop for lenders first, not the home, and how to get the lowest rates possible by doing so, and why you should go as big as possible on your first multifamily home as long as it makes sense. Okay, and find it. How to get great, how to find great deals in your backyard. Literally, for those of you who are in Brooklyn, I was living on Fulton Street. I was renting on Fulton Street around Utica, and the home that I ended up buying, y'all, literally shared a backyard with the place that I was renting. My office, my apartment was on the second floor, and I was literally looking at the home that I eventually bought. So there are deals around you. Your eyes just haven't been trained enough to see them. How to use the internet and the specific websites you need to know to find and do due diligence on a deal. Remember, I'm not talking Trulia, Zillow, and Redfin. Those are not the websites that I use, okay? How to evaluate a deal in another state if you're investing from a distance. Why the asking price doesn't matter. The only real metrics that make a deal worth it or not, and the people and tools you need in place to get off-market deals coming to you daily. All right. The finalize it module is the 23 numbers that I showed you that you need to truly evaluate whether to purchase or pass on a deal. How to quickly evaluate a deal in 10 minutes or less so that you can get an offer in before anyone else. The 4 most overlooked numbers that can make or break a deal. How to never pay at or above asking price to get it reduced to whatever you desire without worrying about the seller walking away. And the 5 ways to exit any deal if the numbers aren't adding up or something doesn't feel right. Then the fix it module, the 10 types of contractors you need to have and trust in and on speed dial once a deal is in motion. Okay, not after you close on the property. You need to have these contractors on your team before you even make an offer. How to vet that team beyond using Yelp or Angie's List, and the questions to ask and the things to look for. The walk, crawl, climb, everything you must do, look for and ask during the inspection process. The inspection process is actually one of the most important points of leverage you have in a real estate negotiation. I've helped my students get prices reduced by $35,000 as a result of what I teach. First things first, what are the very first things you need to do once you have the keys? Hint, it is not move in. And then fix it or nix it, what you should fix immediately and what can wait for later until the building starts cash flowing. Then the fulfill it module. Your landlord now, how to avoid those 3 a.m. calls and manage a building without always being there, how to find great tenants fast if you have vacant units that need to be filled, what you need, who you need, and where to post, free download of my sample lease, and then long distance investing secrets, how to manage your investment without being there in the top 20 markets to invest in. Okay. Again, for those of you who are single family buyers, I have a module specifically for you in the special situation section. It says single family homeowner. And this module lays out the 6 different strategies that you can actually employ to reverse yourself out of that situation and actually become a real estate investor. You are not trapped. I know you messed up. You didn't mess up. The programming that you were taught messed you up. Okay. You didn't mess up. The programming that you were taught, the American dream messed you up. Okay. But there's a way to reverse yourself out of that. And I would love to help you do that. Just want to share with you some of the success stories of my students. This is the Roll family. They use NACA. And the role said the journey has always been, Julian's journey has always been an inspiration to my wife and I. We didn't think we were ready, but Julian helped us see that we were. Now we own a 4-plex in Los Angeles that is already appreciated, generates enough cash flow for my wife and I to both step into entrepreneurship full time while still being financially responsible parents of our 1-year-old daughter, Jubilee. Then the Campbell family. My issue was that I had a rental property that I wasn't cash flowing because I didn't buy right, as Julian always says. Thanks to his coaching, we came up with a strategy to sell that property and leverage it up into a multifamily unit using a 1031 exchange. We found a real estate attorney to transfer the rental property out of my name and into the LLC. Now that we've corrected our real estate wrongs and have a cash flowing Airbnb in Charlotte, which Julian taught me how to scale quickly, and a multifamily where we live mortgage free in one of the 2 units. All right. Dante is originally from New Orleans. I helped him find this duplex here in New Orleans. And for those of you who are in New Orleans, I find deals here all the time. I have off-market deals coming to me, and I share those with my students. Jackie Hall Cooper, she actually closed on 4 doors, a 3-family and a single family in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She closed on this on Halloween of last year. That's why her agent is looking like a scarecrow. Spencer, he lives in Texas, closed on this property, this duplex in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. This is Romaro. He lives in a very expensive market in Oakland, California, where I'm originally from. And he and his family bought this property in Detroit, this duplex in Detroit. For those of you who live in expensive markets, I want to be very clear. Your money does not have to work in the same city as you do. Some of you own Amazon stock, never been to Seattle. Some of you own Apple stock, never been to Cupertino. Some of you own Nike stock, never been to Portland, okay? Your money does not have to work in the same city as you do, okay? All that matters is that it's working. All right. This is Jason. He lives in San Antonio, Texas. I helped him find this duplex here in New Orleans, which is cash flowing for him. Robin is from New Orleans, and I helped her find this beautiful new construction here in New Orleans. She's a new mother. Ronique, he closed on this property in less than fourplex in Birmingham, Alabama in less than 30 days. And he's already on his next property, which he bought for $25,000, is putting $45,000 into renovating it. And the after repair value will be $175,000. He's literally about to step into $100,000 in equity because of what I'm teaching. One of our youngest students, Demetrius, also is a veteran, so he used his VA loan. He closed on this fourplex in Killeen, Texas in February, right? Then Steven, he lives in New York, and he closed on this property here in New Orleans. I helped him find this property here in New Orleans. He got it for $35,000 under asking price, right? April got this property in Virginia Beach, which she is going to Airbnb. She closed on that in February 21st. It's actually a fourplex. And then Jay, I typically don't have my students close on single family homes, but she found one with so much equity in it and the right price that it still cash flows. And she closed on this property here on January 17th. Fernando, they closed on this property on March 5th in Los Angeles. They're actually running the group home business model through it. I don't teach the group home business model. They know it. They said that the numbers are crazy as a group home. Terrence, he also is a vet, and he uses VA loan to acquire this fourplex in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Jetro acquired this fourplex on April 30th, and these are in the middle of coronavirus, y'all. Look, April 14th, Jetro, April 30th. This is in Gainesville, Florida. Jetro went to school at U of F and actually knew the neighborhood and found this property there. Sandra closed on this duplex in Kansas City, Missouri for $15,000. She's going to renovate it and do a cash out refi or the Burr method. Okay. Nicole, she closed on this fourplex in Chicago on April 15th. Again, in the middle of coronavirus, the asking price was $362. She got it down to $340, and her interest rate is 3.5%. Devin closed on this duplex on May 12th in East Orange, New Jersey. And Alan closed a couple weeks ago, right before Juneteenth, on this triplex in Baltimore, Maryland. Okay. Alan said, Julian, I just want to thank you for the great service that you provide. I've learned a great deal from your detailed instruction over the past 3 months during the pandemic. And I recently closed on a multifamily property in Baltimore, Maryland on 6/17/20. The property cash flows and is in an appreciating market with a built-in equity as well. I would not have had the confidence to handle the deal like such a boss with the expert knowledge provided in your course. I felt like I had the answers to the test every step of the way. Thanks again, brother, for the gateway to freedom and generational wealth. I will certainly pay it forward. Best regards, Alan. Okay. So these are my student closing and more closing. And so the multifamily master plan would cost $1,999. But tonight I'm going to show you how you can all get access to it for free. Okay. I'm going to show you how you can get access to it for free. I repeat, it is free. Okay. Now you're probably wondering, what does he mean? Okay. What's the catch? All you have to do to get the multifamily master plan for free is to join the multifamily movement mastermind, which is committed to creating freedom and generational wealth through real estate. My commitment is to help 300 people or families acquire a cash flow positive multifamily home within 6 months of being pre-qualified. As I told you, Harriet Tubman is my inspiration. She freed 300 people on the Underground Railroad over the course of about a decade. I hope to free 300 people on the Above Ground Railroad in a lot less time than that. Now, Julian, you just said it was free. What do you mean by that? I've actually been teaching I'm going to be very clear about this, y'all. I've been teaching online for the past 10 years, and the reality is that only 7% of people complete online courses when left up to their own devices. And I'll just do this real quick. How many of you have bought a book that you intended to read to improve your life, or bought an online course and barely ever logged in? Type me in chat. Please type me in chat. Just be honest. Keep it 100 with me. I'll raise my hand too. Okay? So here's what I mean, y'all. This information that I'm providing you, multifamily real estate hasn't changed drastically over the past 1,100 years, okay? So this information is scattered all over the internet on YouTube, podcasts, blog posts, and books. What I've done is I've provided structure and accountability. So the information is free, okay? But I don't give you the access to the information through me unless you pay for the accountability and the structure that I provide. I'm not just here for the transfer of information. I'm here for your transformation. If you don't integrate the information, then nothing changes and our people do not move forward, and I don't move forward on my purpose. And so the only way I give you access to my mind, right, is through paying for the accountability and the structure that I provide. That's what you're paying for. Again, the information is free. You can go find it. It's scattered all over the internet. Good luck. What you're paying for is the accountability and the structure that I provide. Once you commit to paying for the accountability and structure, which lets me know that you're going to implement the information, I will give you access to every piece of knowledge that I have about multifamily real estate. You will have 100% access to my mind, okay? But you have to pay for the accountability and the structure. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? All right. So this movement is not just an online movement. You're not just going to become a student and I never see you again. No, this is 100 of us here in real life, here in New Orleans, this past MLK weekend. That's me right there. That's my daughter right there. This was for our wealth and real estate weekend, which I'll talk to you about for just a second. Okay. So the Multifamily Masterplan course is $1,999. Again, it's not really a course. Only 20% of this program is actually online. Okay. There's videos. There's more mindset work that I have to do with you. The number one thing we focused on tonight was mindset. There's more mindset work that I have to do with you. So that is what the video content is. It's transforming your mind, right? But then after that, 40% of this program is actually on the phone, talking to lenders, agents, contractors, wholesalers, building your real estate network. Okay. Then the other 40% of this program is actually in your shoes and in your car, going and visiting people, properties in new neighborhoods. Okay. Real estate is a contact sport. You have to be in contact with people and you have to be in contact with properties. We're not just going to find a deal, watching some videos and a deal just land in our lap. That's not how this is going to work. So only 20% of this program is on the computer. The other 40%, 80% is actually on the phone and actually in your car and in your shoes. Okay. So let me show you how the program works. Every week, you're going to get a new challenge, okay? There's the financial house cleaning challenge, the lender shopping challenge, the pre-approval challenge, the real estate agent challenge, the neighborhood knowledge challenge #1, the deal a day challenge #1, okay? Then it's the real estate team building challenge, the new neighborhood challenge #2, deal a day challenge #2. Then you continue to do the new neighborhood and deal a day challenges over and over again until it becomes habitual, until you close on your property. So some of you may not be on the 12-week plan. You might be, Julian, I just gave birth. I just started a new job, etc. The program is designed for 12 weeks, but you may say, I'm on the 24-week plan. I'm on the 36-week plan. I'm on the 48-week plan. I have to work on my credit first. I have to get my savings done first. So you start the program and you pace yourself, okay? So you go at your own pace, but it is designed for 12 weeks for those of you who are ready. So let me show you really quickly just the breadth of it. I'll show you the breadth of it. So this is the program. As Alan said, it's very detailed. It's laid out for you. The videos are anywhere between 3 and about 6 minutes. So really bite-sized so that you can get it. Every week is set up where you have your mindset modules first, and then you have your movement. So be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. We transform the mind first, then we go take movement. We transform the mind, then we take movement, okay? So this is the full depth and breadth of the course. You can see that it's laid out and very organized. It is linear, and I encourage you, do not skip steps. I don't care if you bought a single family home already. I don't care if you even have a multifamily home already. Do not skip steps. Every step is essential to your success, okay? Now, how do I hold you accountable? Every week we have our weekly deal room calls. On our weekly deal room calls, this is where I coach you. So let's say you're having challenges with the deal. You will come on Zoom just like this. I will bring you on via camera or audio, and I will coach you right then and there on whatever challenge you're having. Now, yes, the entire community is listening in as I coach you, but this is your way to get coached by me live. Now, if you're not in the hot seat and you're just listening in, you're going to hear how I question, how I think about things, and how I lead people to the right decision when it comes to buying multifamily real estate. So that is the space where I hold you accountable. On that call, you have to tell me what you accomplished in the week before. And at the end of that call, you have to tell me what your game plan is for the upcoming week, okay? You also get the Purchase or Pass Deal Analyzer, which is absolutely priceless. This is the financial model that I've developed over the past 7 years that helps me analyze deals quickly and make sure that I'm always making the right decision. When you have the Purchase or Pass Deal Analyzer, you will never make a mistake in multifamily real estate. When you run deals through the Purchase or Pass Deal Analyzer, it's almost impossible to buy wrong, okay? And then on top of that, you all get a ticket to my live event in New Orleans, which is a 2-day experience. It's my wealth and real estate weekend here in New Orleans on MLK weekend. That's a $599 ticket, and you get to come to that experience live in New Orleans, okay? So when you put all those things together, The multifamily master plan at $1,999. The multifamily movement weekly deal room calls, which is the coaching at $2,399. The purchase of pass deal analyzer and the live 2-day event in New Orleans at $599. Together, everything that I'm offering you is $4,997, but you will not be paying that tonight whatsoever. Okay. So let me ask you this really quick. Would it be worth $4,997 one time to eliminate your monthly rent expense or single family home mortgage forever? Please let me know in chat. Okay. All right. Would it be worth $4,997 one if all it did was help you acquire one cash flow positive multifamily home within the next year? Let's say that you didn't close in 3 months. Let's say you didn't close in 6 months. Let's say you just closed in a year. Would it still be worth $4,997? One property is going to lead to $1.2 million shift in my last name, in my net worth. Okay. Would it be worth $4,997 if the only thing you learned was how to buy right so that you never ended up underwater on a real estate deal thanks to the deal analyzer? See, a lot of people have bought wrong and they think, oh, I'm a homeowner, but their property doesn't cash flow. Okay. So we want to right those real estate wrongs and want to make sure that we buy right. Okay. That first property is so essential to building momentum and building your entire portfolio. So, so option number one is, I know some of you want to know how much it costs. Option number one is going to feel free and it costs you the most. And that is you do nothing. Okay. You just stay on the path that you've been on and winging it and hoping that this manifests for you somehow and you don't have a structured plan to do it. So that's option number one. Again, it's going to feel free, but it's going to cost you the most. It's going to cost you time and it's going to cost you money. You're going to continue to pay rent or you're going to pay more for real estate when you finally do get there. And I want to make sure that you don't make any mistakes, because in real estate, when we're playing with money at this level, every decision could actually be lead to huge expenses, okay? Like real expenses. I know people got caught up in predatory loans, people who bought wrong, etc. And they call me, I'm like, yo, I tried to give you the blueprint, but you wanted to go about it your own way. I'm not going to go dig you out of this hole, right? I had everything laid out for you, but you tried to bypass the system. Okay. And just go at it on your own. DIY. Sometimes DIY will have you die. DIY will kill you sometimes. Okay. So earlier, you all said, you know, I asked you this hypothetical situation, would you give up or go get the money? And some of y'all had your Twitter fingers on and you was like, yo, you know me, I'm about that life. I'll go get my money. I'll do what I got to do, you know? And so that was a hypothetical situation and y'all was talking mess in the chat. Like, look at me, you know me, but now I'm putting you at a real life crossroad to continue on the path that you've been on or to actually make a different decision for your financial future to go get the money. And so I hope that you choose to go get the money, because if you do, then I know that I'll be able to help you multiply it. So option number two is a one-time payment of $14.97. You can go to multifamilymovement.com. That's multifamilymovement.com. It's a one-time payment of $14.97. For many of you, based on the rents and the mortgages that you put in earlier, that's literally all I'm asking you for is the equivalent of 1 to 2 months of rent or mortgage expense to position you to never pay rent or mortgage ever again. All I'm asking is for the equivalent of 1 to 2 months of rent or mortgage expense to position you to never pay rent or mortgage ever again. And I think that's very fair. Like I said, Fortune Builders, it literally costs $15,000. Okay, $15,000 literally costs 10 times as much for that program. That program is led by people who aren't from our community, and they're literally stealing people's down payments because people are so desperate, okay? There's an easier way to get this information. I'll package it, and the success rate of my students has been extremely high, okay? So I'm gonna take questions in just a second. I see people have a lot of questions, okay? So I'm gonna take questions in just a second, all right? So that's option number one. Go to multifamilymovement.com, $14.97 one pay, you save $597. Now, how many of you need a payment plan? How many of you need a payment plan? Let me know in chat. All right. So for those of you who need a payment plan, I got something for you in just a second. This is one of my students, Brendan, and this is what he said. Julian, thanks, bro. I was apprehensive at first to take your class due to the price point. I thought I could have learned from YouTube University, laugh out loud. In retrospect, you dropped too many jewels for me to count. One example saved me $1,200 by making the lenders compete. It was money well spent. For any new people reading this, Julian is the truth, good people, and has a wealth of knowledge. Appreciate all that you do, good brother, and profound impact that you make on so many. So that was Brendan, and guess what? Brendan, on June 22nd, He got his FHA appraisal, came back at $14,000 above his offer. So he's about to walk into $14,000 in equity because of what I've been able to teach him in this program. So for those of you who need a payment plan, I have an option for you, which is $349 per month for only 6 months. Okay. I'm not asking for a subscription. This is not a subscription that's going to just be on your account forever and hope that you forget. That's not what I want. Okay. 6 months only, and then it ends and you have lifetime access to the program. Okay. 6 months only. Now on the subscription plan, your modules will get dripped to you. When you do the one pay, you get all your modules immediately at once so that you can pound through the course as quickly as you can. Okay. When you're on subscription, your modules will get dripped as your payments come in. Okay. The subscription, $349 times 6 is $2,094. So the subscription plan is actually more expensive. It is $597 more expensive. Whereas when you do the one pay, you save that $597. Okay. But for those of you who need to break up the payments because you don't have $1,497 right now, I totally understand. Corona is throwing a lot of stuff off for people. Money can be funny. And so I've made this plan available for those of you who need to have this kind of option. Okay. All right. So I do have another option for you all, which is for those of you who do need to start on the subscription, but you know that I know taxes got delayed and you might have a stimulus or a tax refund coming in. Here's the option for you. Angel just said it in the chat. What if I pay early? Or no, Bobby said it. Look, y'all, I will extend the $14.97 one pay for 60 days. So what you'll do is you will join now at $349. You'll start with the monthly subscription. And if you pay within 60 days, I'll honor the $14.97. If you pay in full within 60 days, I'll honor the $14.97. So $349 right now. And if you pay before the 30th, before 30 days, that'll be $1148. That'll be the balance and I'll honor, and you'll still save $597. Now, if you need 59 days, you pay $349 now. 30 days from now, you pay another $349, and then before the 60th day, you pay $799. I'll honor the $14.97. Look, I'll tell you this again. I do not want your down payment. Do you need to have some skin in the game to come learn this information? Yes. I don't want your down payment, y'all. I don't want the $597. I'd rather you have it to put towards your down payment, right? So these are the options that you have to join right now, okay? All right. So who is this for? Who shouldn't and should join? Who should and shouldn't join? Join the movement if you're a renter that has paid over $50,000 in rent living on your own. Join the movement if you're a single family buyer who wants to become a real estate investor. And join the movement if you're willing to make the sacrifice of today for success in the future. Okay. But please do not join if you are looking for a get rich quick scheme and you need money yesterday. This is not the path for you if you need money yesterday. Okay. And do not join the movement if you're unwilling to change what you're doing now to save money and search for real estate deals. If you're not willing to make the time for this and you think that it's somehow magically you're going to find a real estate deal just because you bought the course, this is not the program for you. Okay. So please only join if you're serious about doing this work. Okay. Devin, welcome to the family. I'm so happy to have you. All right. I'm going to take questions in just a second. I just want to share with you some final bonuses. First bonus is the Fuel It module. This shows you exactly how I scaled my portfolio from 0 to 1 to 2 to 10. All right. I walk you through each property, what I did, how I financed it, and how I increased the value of that property, and how I used properties 1, 2, and 3 to buy 4, 5, and 6, and 4, 5, and 6 to buy 7, 8, and 9. Then you're going to get REI Tax Secrets, which is how to reduce your taxes. This is not tax evasion. Tax evasion is illegal. We actually use the law. It's tax avoidance by leveraging the law. Earlier, I showed you how one property is actually going to save me $250,000 in taxes over 30 years. That's about $10,000 per year in taxes saved as a result of having multifamily real estate. Single family real estate does not allow that for you. So you're also going to get that. You're also going to get the Overnight Success course, which is my Airbnb program. I've actually built out a 6-figure Airbnb business, and I'm going to give that to you for those of you who live in Airbnb-friendly cities. And then for those of you who have credit issues, I'm actually going to give you Tanya Rapley's. I licensed this from her. It's her credit etiquette course, which is going to show it's a DIY program to help you boost your credit score by 50 to 150 points so that you are in striking distance to get financed for the FHA loan. You're also going to get the Purchase or Pass Deal Analyzer online version, not just the spreadsheet, but the online version, so that you can evaluate all your deals in one place. I literally put over 5 figures into this technology that only is accessible to my students. What's beautiful about this technology is that we have a Publix deals page where the community shares all the deals that they've evaluated that they're not moving on, and they share them publicly so that you can go look at those deals, those off-market deals yourself, okay? So when you add in the Fuel It module at $997, the Tax Secrets at $597, the Overnight Success at $497, the Credit Etiquette course at $299, and the Purchase or Pass online app at $199 for lifetime. That's $7,586. But again, you can join tonight for $1497 one pay or $349 per month for only 6 months. All right. So again, that's multifamilymovement.com. So you say you don't know where to start. Well, look, I've laid out the blueprint for you step by step by step. Just go through the modules. It's a linear program. You feel like you're on this journey alone. You're the only one in your family who gets it. Come join and be part of our family. Come to our weekly deal room calls. Be part of our active Facebook group, right, where I'm in there every single day answering questions. You're not good at math. You don't have to be. I've already built in all the equations for you into the Purchase or Pass Deal Analyzer. All you have to do is know where to find the 23 numbers. You need help with money beyond real estate investing. I teach wealth consciousness through real estate. So through the process of acquiring multifamily real estate, you're going to download all of my principles about wealth consciousness. Plus, you're going to get that ticket to the Wealth and Real Estate Weekend. On day 1, we do wealth building, all my wealth building strategies. And then on day 2, we do real estate. We go look at some of my properties. We also go look at properties that we can buy together. All right. Then you've already bought a single family home. I'm going to show you how to reverse out of that situation and actually build your portfolio from 0 to 1 to 2 to 10. Do I need an LLC? No, you do not need an LLC, but I am going to give you REI tax secrets to show you how to set up your finances so that you can maximize all those tax savings. And then you're in an expensive market. You're going to get the Overnight Success Airbnb course to actually double or triple your rents when you use Airbnb instead of market rate rent. And if your credit is low right now, you're going to get Tanya Rapley's Credit Etiquette course to help you improve that. Okay. So one thing I want to wrap up, 2 things I want to wrap up with is my Coach Till You Close 2-year 100-session support program. So you're going to get 2 years of coaching from me. The weekly deal room calls, you'll have access to them for 2 years or 100 sessions. I only take off 2 weekends. I only take off 2 Sundays for holidays. Okay. But every Sunday I'm here teaching and coaching you to support you through this process. I will let you know that for this program, there are no refunds. There are no refunds. There are no refunds. Okay. I know that you will get a return on your investment when you get to the closing room. So I'm actually committed to you getting to the closing room. So this is not a program where you're going to come in, you're going to go through it and then say, oh, I want a refund. There are no refunds for this program. I know that the program works and I will support you until you get to the closing room. All right. Now you also get a free buddy pass. You get a free buddy pass. I know that you'll be more successful when you have somebody who's on the ground with you, who is down for the cause, right? I'll be working with many of you virtually, okay? But for when you have somebody who your best friend, right? Your spouse or your homie, your blood, your siblings, or your parents or your kids or your business partner, you get to bring them in the program with you, okay? The only thing that they do not get is the ticket to the New Orleans event. They get a discounted ticket, but they don't get the free ticket the way you do, okay? So again, I'm encouraging you to bring a buddy into the program with you so that you have somebody to roll out and go see these properties with, somebody to come talk about the modules with, somebody to hold you accountable wherever it is that you live. So we encourage this, okay? When you join, you'll just simply email support@thefreedomschool.com, let Sharita know who your buddy is, and they will get access to everything that you get except for the ticket to the New Orleans event, all right? These are 2 sisters, Velveeta and Velvet. They're in LA and they are going through this process together, which is absolutely beautiful. Now, if you do join within the next 12 minutes, I will give you an extra ticket to the New Orleans event for your buddy. But that's like a little fast action bonus. So that'll only be available for the next 12 minutes for those of you that's 10 Eastern Standard Time. And with that, I would like to just say thank you and jump into questions. Again, this is everything that you get, $14.97. You're literally only 1 deal away. Some of you are 3 months away from being rent and mortgage free. You're literally 3 months away, okay? It all starts with that first deal. When you buy that first deal right, then it creates this domino effect, y'all, where you get that first deal and then it just creates this domino effect. And this is how my wealth has built over the past 7 years. And this is exactly what I want to teach you, but it starts with that one property in order to build your portfolio. So for those of you who are on multifamilymovement.com, you probably can only hear me right now. You're going to start, you're going to get onboarded, you're going to get your deal analyzer, you're going to start the course, you're going to go through orientation. We'll have our weekly deal room call on Sunday, and you'll start your first challenge. And your temporary password is freedom. Okay, for those of you who are at multifamilymovement.com and aren't looking at the screen, your temporary password is freedom, all lowercase. So it'll be your email that you signed up with and the word freedom, all right? Now, there is a price of procrastination. Right now, it's $349 per month for 6 months or $14.97 one time. This offer is available till Friday at midnight Eastern Standard Time, okay? So you can join between now and Friday, okay, at midnight Eastern Standard Time. But after that, the price will jump up to $3,997. You all told me it was worth $4,997. It will jump up to $3,997, and the bonuses will not be included, all right? For those of you who are here right now, you will all get the list of down payment assistance programs emailed to you tomorrow. So keep an eye out on your email tomorrow. Check your spams, check your junk. Gmail is filtering emails like crazy right now. So look in your spam tomorrow for the list of down payment assistance programs. And with that, the deadline is Friday at midnight Eastern Standard Time. So with that, I'm going to take questions. The way we're going to ask questions, please don't ask them in chat. Use the Q&A function. Use the Q&A function, okay? The Q&A function below, okay? That's where I'll answer questions. I'm going to start doing that right now. Agdanamai said I can't join. Agdanamai, if the payment processing isn't working, then Agdanamai, click right here under this green button, right, where these are PayPal links. So click this link for $14.97 or this link for $349, and then it'll take you to PayPal, and then click pay with debit or credit card here on PayPal, and that's an alternative way if this form is not working, okay? So I'm about to pump through questions. Let's go in, let's say 25 minutes, and let's get through as many as we can, all right? Again, I thank each and every one of you for being here tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure to serve you. I know it's getting late. Some of you may have to go, but I'm about to answer as many questions as I can, all right? Whew, deep breath. I need some water. All right, let's get it. Do you need an LLC? No, you do not need an LLC. In fact, you cannot use NACA or FHA. You cannot buy through an LLC, okay? I can go create an LLC in 15 minutes. I can go get registered in Delaware and get an EIN number in 15 minutes. Would you finance me $500,000 for a company that I just started 15 minutes ago? No, y'all. That was old back in the day game where you could create an LLC and magically get finance. That's no longer the way lending works today, okay? Next question. Will I be able to watch this recording afterwards? Yeah, I'll send it out tomorrow. I'll send it out. I'll upload it for y'all and send it out tomorrow so you can share it with your buddies, anybody you're going to join with, or just to catch anything that you might have missed. Because I know I was talking fast, as y'all say. I had a lot to cover, and look, we've been going in for 2 hours, y'all. And I got a lot more to share with you. I got a wealth of information to share with you. Kristen, how can I get this on my laptop? I don't like it on my cell. I feel like I'm missing stuff. Kristen, the Zoom link is the same whether a laptop or phone. I don't want to live with my tenants. Eric, it's 1 year commitment. Okay. When you use FHA or NACA, well, NACA expects you to live in the property for the life of the loan. For FHA, you only have to live there for 1 year. Like, that's a small sacrifice. I'll tell you this quick story, y'all. In Brooklyn, my 3 family in Brooklyn, guess who moved next door to me, y'all? Asian family. They moved next door. Okay. They were the only Asians in the whole neighborhood. But guess what? They moved in, and then a couple months later, guess who moved in with them? A whole nother Asian family moved in with them. A whole nother Asian family. And so in the same apartment size that I had, they had 2 families. Okay. And guess what? Within 2 years, within a year, that family had saved up enough money to go buy another property down the street. They had saved up enough money to go buy another property around the corner down the street. This was the sacrifice that they were willing to make. And for some reason, we just aren't willing. So let's just be real, y'all. Instead of blaming other people, instead of blaming the white man, instead of blaming racism, instead of blaming the police and the government in America, et cetera, we just have to sometimes look in the mirror and just say, and be honest and say, I wasn't willing. I wasn't willing. Stop blaming other people and just say, I wasn't willing. All these other communities are making the sacrifice. You got Asians who are living in the back of their massage. All these massage places that Asians do these massages, they live in the back, taking showers, standing up with a bucket because they were willing. And that's how they build wealth. If you're not willing because you don't want to share a wall or a ceiling with somebody, then just say, I was not willing, and continue to go down the hard road. It's going to be a harder road if you're not willing. Okay? I'm just calling it what it is. Like sharing a wall with somebody, that's the least of your worries. Rent is the biggest worry you got right now. Not sharing a wall with somebody. You sharing a wall with somebody right now renting. Like, come on, y'all. Like, let's be real. You sharing a wall with somebody in your cubicle. You don't want to be in the cubicle. You sharing a wall there. You sharing walls all over the place. But don't own anything. Like, come on, y'all. Should we avoid PMI? Of course, we want to avoid PMI, but with FHA, you take that PMI to get the asset, and then when it's time, when you're ready, we're going to refinance out of that FHA to get the PMI off. Frexinet, how come they only put 30% of the principal and 70% towards interest? Fred, when you go look at a mortgage calculator, that's just the amortization schedule. A lot of the interest goes on the front end. Just go to mortgagecalculator.org, Fred, and look at the amortization schedule. That's just the natural way a mortgage is set up. That's why it is called a death pledge, because you're actually paying so much interest up on the front end. Okay. Please ask your question in chat. I mean, in Q&A function. I see questions still coming up in chat. Please ask them in the Q&A function. Would you buy a HDFC co-op? I would never buy a co-op. You get trapped in co-ops. Co-ops have assessments. Oh, we need a new roof done. That's $120,000 divided by 10 units. All of a sudden, you got to come up with $12,000. I would never buy a co-op, ever. Julius, welcome to the program. So happy to have you. Tiara, get pre-approved by the NAC or the bank. For your homework for Friday, go get pre-approved by a bank. NACA is a longer process to get pre-approved. Rachel, so when would you suggest start looking to take advantage of Rona? Rachel, we want to keep each market operates differently based on the type of jobs in that market. But again, August, September, October, once forbearance is done, you're going to see a lot of people have to come up off their properties. Do you recommend specific banks or lenders to seek pre-approval from? Rachel, we have a mortgage broker who we trust and rely on, who has national relationships, who you'll go to and have him do the work for you, okay? But typically when you're buying multifamily, it's gonna be a local lender, not like a Bank of America or Chase or anything like that. Melissa, how does having a recent bankruptcy play in this? Do I have to wait a couple of years? Yes, Melissa, there's certain timelines for bankruptcy and foreclosures that you'll have to adhere to before a lender will be willing to lend to you. There's no way around that I know of. Shayna, do you feel the same way about a single family investment property? Shayna, single family investment property, if you can find a single family that cash flows good enough, as long as the money is working for you at least 12%, then that's fine. But I'd rather just go big on my first property than do a single family. Okay. Amina, I recently attended NACA, where I learned that they don't allow you to own more than one home at once. You must live in them as well, and you must live in the home as well. Can you explain how to use NACA? So Amina, we use NACA to get the first property, and then when it's time, when you're ready to buy your next property, we're gonna have to refinance out of that NACA loan. Cedrine, would I be able to get pre-approved if I have student loan in collection 13K? Cedrine, I'm not a lender. You'd have to just go try to get pre-approved. It doesn't hurt you to try. Go see what they say. Oscar, can you recommend how to find good tenants? Oscar, all of that is laid out in the program in the Property Management 101 module. Okay. What if you can't live in the property for 1 year? Markel, if you can't live in the property for 1 year, then you'll have to put 25% down as an investment property. So you're living somewhere right now. We would try to figure out how to get you to live there. But if you can't, then we have to go put 25% down. If you can't put 25% down in your market, then we got to go find a smaller market where you can put 25% down. Look, y'all, I know y'all are saying you're not answering my question. There's 162 questions in the Q&A. So I'm pushing through them as fast as I can. Hopefully a lot of them are duplicates, but there's 163 questions now. So I'm going, all right. Uh, Emery, I gotta go to work really soon. Are you gonna put? Yes, the video. I'll post a replay. If I have a single family, would it be smart to sell it and get a multifamily? Oscar, that would be the easiest pathway. If you have no nostalgic attachment to that home, that's going to be the easiest way to free you back up to take a different path. Anonymous, but there are 5 other ways, Oscar. Anonymous, what about vacant multifamily properties, Ohio? I'm not sure what the question is, Anonymous. If the numbers work and we can get them rented, then it's all about the numbers. Tamisha, do you Airbnb any of your apartments? Yes, I Airbnb 3 of the 30 doors. Roxanne, what if you own a single family home and your name is on the deed of the home of another home? What if you own a single family home and your name is on the deed of another home? Do I still have a chance to pay a low down payment multifamily? For if you own, if you're on the mortgage of either of those homes, we will not be able to use FHA. Well, actually, let me take that back. There's 5 ways to use FHA twice. Okay. The F in FHA does not stand for first time buyer. It does not stand for first time. It stands for federal. Okay. So there are 5 ways that I teach you in the program to use FHA twice. I showed you that earlier in the module for single family buyers. Okay. It's all in there. Joshua, what about tax adjudicated properties? Joshua, I've never bought a tax adjudicated property, so I don't teach what I don't know or haven't done. I don't teach what I haven't done. Okay. Welcome to the family, April. Rachel, how much is your course? It's $14.97. I'll put the link again. $14.97 one pay or $349 per month for 6 months only, and then you get lifetime access after that. Where would I find multifamily listings? Marvin, I teach that in the program. We look for off-market deals, okay? We find them through relationships and research. April, you'll email support@thefreedomschool.com, support@thefreedomschool.com. It's actually one of your first, in orientation, it'll show you how to add your buddy. Bernice, are you holding all in your personal name? No, Bernice, I have 8 in my name and 2 in my LLC. But the only way I was able to get the 2 in my LLC is because I had a long-standing relationship with the banks, right? And they trusted me. So that's how I got the 2 property, and 1 was commercial. Okay, as commercial, you typically buy as LLC with commercial. And then the other one, I had a great relationship with the bank because I had other mortgage with them. So that's what allowed me to get it in the LLC. If I just lost my job, should I join? Anonymous, I don't expect you to be unemployed forever. So while you are searching for a job and you have some time on your hands, then come learn this knowledge so that once you get your new job, you can take action. That's how I would play it. Naja, welcome to the movement. Welcome to the family, you and your husband. I love seeing couples go through this. When couples are aligned on their financial vision, it's a beautiful thing. When couples are not aligned, ooh, it is tough. It is tough. Anybody in here alone? Anybody in here alone? Like my partner not gonna be down for this. Is there anybody in here who's alone and just know that you and your partner are on different pages financially? I know that sucks, y'all. I would encourage you to find a friend to go through this process with, and then just lead by example. And hopefully, we can over time we can have your partner come in on one of the webinars, show them this webinar. But that is tough, y'all, when you and your partner are not aligned financially. You said your money does not have to work in the same city as you do. Yes, I did. Given the FHA NACA requirements to live in the property for 1 year, how can I buy in Philly and live in New York? You're going to be 25% down, Anonymous. 25% down to buy in Philly and live in New York. Okay. Can I get your website again? It's multifamilymovement.com. I'll put it in chat, multifamilymovement.com. What about disability income? In Donna, all we can do is go to the bank and see, everybody's disability income is different. So all we can do is go to the bank. It also depends on what market you're in. If you're in Boise, Idaho versus New York and you're on disability, that disability is going to go longer in Boise than it is in New York. So all we can go is take it to the lender and see what they say. I am from Guyana, South America. Can this program work outside of the US? I have not executed a deal or taught someone to execute a deal outside of the US. The lending guidelines tend to be different in other countries. So I am not promising that, brother or sister. And I apologize. Bobby, can the course be covered by state, federal financial aid program? No, this is not a government program that you can use financial aid for. I wish. um, what if the live event has to be canceled due to the pandemic? It will turn it virtual, Tamika. It'll still happen. It'll just be virtual. B Deculus. Oh, that's Gabby's sister, I think. In your offer, you address recommended workarounds with pain points from out-of-state management companies? Do you address recommended workarounds with pain points from out-of-state management companies? I don't fully understand the question. How do you mitigate the potential issues here with management companies when you are MI out of state and no boots on the ground? Are there contractual protections to incorporate the management contract? So in order to invest from out of state, it really just requires you having a great property manager. I don't have any management companies. First and foremost, the most important thing you have to do is screen your tenants the correct way. I'll let everybody here know that during coronavirus, 26 out of 27 of my tenants paid. 26 out of 27 of my tenants paid in full during coronavirus because I screened my tenants in the right way. The one that didn't pay was a tenant that I inherited with a recent property. And once there was no evictions in New Orleans, he decided to just milk that. And that's okay. He was my lowest paying tenant of all. He got me for $2,400. And the moment that New Orleans opened up evictions again, he was out of there on the 5-day notice. Okay. And that apartment's being turned over and is being ready to rent right now. So it really comes down to having a great property manager. I've never used a property management company. Property management company, you're probably talking that when you get to like 50 units, but not with your first property. You just need a property manager, and hopefully the agent that you find from a distance is one that can be your real estate agent and serve as your property manager for that property. Property managers also take about 10% of rents, y'all. So if you have $3,000 in rents that you're getting from a property, they'll take about $300. Which option online to make down payment and then pay off? You'll start with the $349 per month payment plan, and then when you're ready to pay in full, you'll email support@thefreedomschool.com. I still see questions coming in the chat. Please use the Q&A function. We have 192 questions here. I'm going through as many as I can. We'll go hard for another 10 minutes, okay? Recently sold my single family, 90K profit. Happy to hear that, Jeremiah. Jeremiah Profit, it's a dope name. Is 20% down. The only way moving forward, used FHA already. If you already sold your single family, you should be freed up. Jeremiah, if you used FHA on that single family that you sold, you should be freed up to use it again. Remember, FHA does not stand for first. The F in FHA does not stand for first time, okay? There are many ways to use, there's 5 ways to use FHA twice. If you sold your FHA loan, then you can use it again. Lamar, can you use NACA with other grants or loan programs in the same deal? Lamar, I'm not sure. NACA is one of the best. Actually, VA is the best loan in the entire country. NACA is very close. And I don't know if you can stack. It's kind of like, it's like, can I go to the store and stack on 2 50% discount coupons together? No, I don't think it works like that, okay? Christina, I need to know if this is recorded. Yes, it's recorded. So is the deal analyzer good for those 2 years? Yes, you'll have the deal analyzer for a lifetime, Javed. And I'll keep updating the technology. Tanya, will you send this presentation? Yes, I'll send it out. Marie, will you send the recording this? Yep. Okay. H. Janae, okay, how would this work for those not living in the States? For those who are out of the country, I'm so happy to see you here. I don't have a solution for you. I have not closed. I would love for one of you to be the first, but I don't know how financing works. I don't think it works the same in other countries, so I can't make any promises. I'm sorry. Melody, can this be for someone who has a bankruptcy? I already addressed that one. There are certain time periods, so you want to reach out to your lender and see what their time periods are. Okay. Does this method work for commercial real estate? It does. It's the same process for commercial estate real estate. For commercial real estate, the only difference in commercial real estate is going to be a 20-year amortization and a variable interest rate as opposed to a 30-year fixed. But the same process is what you would do. Again, the website is multifamilymovement.com to join. Sheila, is the material time sensitive or do we have access to the program for life? It's lifetime access, y'all. Lifetime access. Can you shed some light on getting started when you're already a home buyer? Yes. Like I said, there's 6 ways for you to reverse yourself out of that situation. Only 2 of them require you to sell. Only 2 of them require you to sell. I teach that all in the program. I showed you the module earlier for single family buyers. Okay. Can you go over the webinar worksheet again? The webinar worksheet was just a fill in the blank for some of the major points that I didn't want you to miss tonight. Brother, does recent remodification disqualify one from acquiring a multifamily investment? Bill, you'll want to go ask your lender if they would lend to you again. Yeah, you'll want to talk to the lender about that. Every lender has their own lending guidelines that they might stack on top of the federal lending guidelines. So you want to go ask your lender if they would, if you found a deal that looked like this, would they lend to you again, given the remodification? I don't have the answer. What is the success rate of working seriously if you put in the work? I have to be clear about this. So one thing is that all of my students have different timelines. Some come in, they have their credit, their cash flow, and their cash ready. And as you can see, most of my the success stories that I share with you, the students are closing in 4 to 6 months. Okay, that's when somebody comes in fully ready to go. But some people are on a 24-week plan, a 36-week plan, a 48-week plan. So I can't actually give you a graduation rate in the same way that a college might be able to give you a graduation rate, because everybody starts in the same place at the same time. And even in colleges, I graduated in 3 years. People graduate in 4 years. More people are graduating in 5 years than 4 years, etc. So I don't have an actual graduation rate because I don't know everybody's individual timelines, but I showed you about 25 success stories. So that's my evidence and my blueprint that this works. Okay. I hope you understand that. If we get the installment plan, how soon can we access the credit module? You can access that immediately, Cassandra. That there's no delay because we know that your credit is one of the one of the bigger issues. So you can get that immediately. Leonard, do you have any other videos on this topic? I post on my Instagram all the time, Leonard, but no long teachings like this, no master classes like this. Lamar, Julian, you're brilliant. I appreciate that, brother. I received that affirmation. Grateful. Glad to be used in this way. Curious, what's the best no down payment program you suggest? VA or NACA? VA or NACA are the only 2 no down payment that I know. Brittany B, would love to know about your experience with the VA loan, currently active duty, but will be a vet next summer. VA is the best loan in the entire world, so let's use it. Terrence, what gave you the confidence to make the jump? I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I already knew immediately that I wasn't buying a single family home. And so when the opportunity presented itself in Brooklyn, I just knew that that's what it had to be. Of course, Robert Kiyosaki has said some foul things about people of color recently. So I lean on him less and less now, though the principles in that book were timeless. So yeah. Is this recorded? Yes, the recording will come out tomorrow, y'all. Donnell, Julian, thank you for this. I live in Philly, but want to invest in New Orleans. I'm from NOLA and plan to move back in 18 months. Dante is actually my frat brother. What? That's dope, man. Yeah, he's moving to California, Donnell. How does your program work for someone who is looking to invest out of state? It's the same. Remember, I bought in New Orleans and Brooklyn I bought in New Orleans and Oakland while I was living in Brooklyn. So Donnell, it typically costs 25% down, the down payment. Okay. Now, Now, let me just put that in context. So remember, I was in New York. The properties were $1 million there. 25% down was going to be $250,000. When I came to New Orleans and I could get a double for 200,000, 25% down was only $50,000. So shopping in New York was like shopping at Neiman Marcus, and shopping in New Orleans for real estate was like shopping at the clearance rack at Ross. So the 25% down, though it seems like a big number based on the market that you're in Philly, is not, it may not be the same here in New Orleans. So that's what I would do, brother. I would seek to put the 25% down. Or if you have family here, buy with the FHA, let the lender know that you're about to make that move. Buy with the FHA with the as if you're going to move here, but then put a family member in there for that 18 months. I am a lender and real estate broker, but do you have a method where if a person files at poverty line or has not filed at all can purchase a property? Bobby, I have not successfully helped anyone who buy multifamily real estate who is at the poverty line. So I do not want to give any false promises here. Okay. Victor, is the program lifetime access once I pay? Yes, Victor, it is lifetime access. Oscar, are no co-ops, Oscar. Will, thoughts on managing and closing costs in addition to down payment estimates? Will, I teach all those strategies in the program, seller concessions, etc. All of that is, but typically closing costs tend to be about 6%. Shayna, can we take advantage of the 3.5% down or 0% down programs if we do not live in the multifamily? No, you cannot, Shayna. Okay. All right. So I'm going to close off there. I just want to say thank you all for being here tonight. The fact that you're here after 2 hours is absolutely amazing. It says a lot about you. It says that you're serious, that you really want this, and that the information was valuable. I'm so grateful for you and your time. Your time is the most valuable thing that you have. And I hope that I was able to bless you and make this time worth it for you. I would love to be your conductor on the above ground railroad if you would allow me to be. I've led many people successfully down this path, and I would love to lead you to rent and mortgage freedom. Rent and mortgage freedom is not full freedom, but to get that 1/3 expense off of your budget every single month and to achieve rent and mortgage freedom is going to create all kinds of breathing room for you. And you all said less stress. You said more purpose, invest more, save more, spend more time with family, travel. This is what that's really all about, and building that generational wealth. So if you would allow me to do so, I would love to lead you on the above ground railroad. I've done it successfully. I've led other people along the path successfully, and I would love for you to be next. So with that, I will wish you a great, great evening. Look out for your email for the recording tomorrow, as well as for the list of down payment assistance programs. I'm sorry I didn't get to every single question. There's 223 questions right now. We would be here till midnight Eastern if I answered them. So I hope a lot of them are duplicates, and I hope you have enough information to make an informed decision in the same way that I want you to make informed decisions about real estate. So have a good night, everybody. Much love. Peace.